Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. And, gosh, thanks so much to those supporters. Oh, no kidding. They got Dick Cheney level support. I need to check that out. Yindeep Tiger. That's what Dick was hunting that one time. I'm pretty sure I went to Russia and saw the Aerial Ballet. Fun fact, nobody has more space planes than Thomas Potts.
You know, I had a case of firetail once. Doctor gave me a shot, and it cleared it right up.
Firetail.
Yes. Bill Clinton had a case of firetail one time.
Oh my. Oh,
can't hear you, Dan.
Nope.
Still can't hear you.
Oh, you're muted in stream.
Oh my.
There we go. There so strange to have you back.
Yes.
You've returned to
month.
Living from the land of Florida.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Through the swamps, saw gators. Oh, yeah.
Did you wrestle any gators?
No, not that crazy. They might like the taste of maple syrup too much.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
That's what all you Canadians bleed that, right?
That's the only reason they were able to survive, storming the Russian front in the Great War, because the Canadians, since they bleed maple syrup, and maple syrup doesn't run during cold weather, so they get shot, but they wouldn't bleed.
Yeah, exactly. We just insta heal.
Look it up. It's true. It's real history. So, no, it's nice to actually have the whole crew back again. Even if Danny looks like he's kind of a zombie right now.
I think you're using the wrong mic again.
Oh yeah, you're.
You could have told me that before.
I got here seconds before.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like it only switched just a minute ago or something. Because now you're in a tunnel.
Does anybody know why Fire James Gunn is trending on Twitter right now? That's weird. What did he do now? Did he do something while I was asleep?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, is that better?
Yes, sir.
All right,
nice and buttery now. Yes, sir.
So, speaking of butter, Danny, your eyes look like they have two huge sticks of butter underneath them.
No, just one of them.
Yeah.
You should see the other guy.
Doesn't look like you did.
No. I was waiting to make that joke because I didn't know if you were going to fully out me or not and be like, oh, you mean the pavement? But
although, you know what? I managed to give myself a black eye delivering flyers as a kid, going through someone's backyard to get to the next house, except they had a freaking clothesline down at people height. And
who does that?
Right in the face.
Who does that? Those savages.
People who are jerks, that's who.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, that's who does it.
My back is killing. So I thought it'd be a good idea to take a nap. Because like I said, I was telling you guys this seconds before we started, that I got up at 4 or something and was tired and took a nap. And boy, did I screw up. I should have laid on my bed. I laid on the couch and I just my back is all, oh God, it hurts so much right now. So I'm going to try to get through this.
Yeah. So mental note, don't be stupid in the future.
Yeah, there's that.
You know,
that's a good mental note.
Yeah, well, you know what I do actually on days when there's a live stream, I set an alarm for at least an hour before the stream, so I know that if I do fall asleep, I'm awake.
Except for that one time where you freaked us out and we thought you were dead.
you left all the comms devices everywhere,
You know
but
what?
with
That,
you.
that day, I just completely forgot. You know.
Yeah. So we're human, man. It happens to the
Yeah.
best of us.
Yeah, my trick is if I feel too naughty, I just go sit in the living room because I know Matthew will be home from work and his giant work boots will make sure to wake me up.
If you feel naughty.
Naughty, like
Oh, okay.
Like naughty,
not naughty.
Now you
Naughty,
look like
naughty.
you're trying to hide, the fact that you're like bloodshot or something.
No, now I'm doing this is my Dr. Disrespect impersonation, man. Come on. Get with
Dr.
it.
Disrespect.
Who's that?
Aren't you hip with the, I don't know, some asshole gamer my kids watch?
Oh, okay. Now that sounds familiar. As soon as a gamer,
That's a gamer, Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, his big
I only
Twitch
caught
guy.
his name like a couple weeks ago for some reason.
Damn, he's been around for years, man.
No, I know, but it only managed to roll by me like in the last couple weeks.
And
I was
no,
on Reddit way too much over my vacation.
As much as I would say my wife is smarter than me when it comes to stuff like that, no, I actually came up with it myself.
Oh my goodness. So, Jason,
Yes, sir.
welcome back, man. Your presence has been very, very, very much missed.
Well, thank you very much. It is good to be
Yes.
back.
Yes. And
You
I had a
need to stop
blast.
Tilting your head so low, you look like you're just a
had a-
billboard for the salty nerds, guys.
Sorry. I can get I was either this or the Golden Knights hat, and I didn't want you giving me grief,
I
although
don't mind
we've
you wearing
won
the
those
hat.
games.
It's just that when you're like this the whole time.
Oh, yeah. No, but I did want to say, I didn't realize how much I missed our Saturdays. This past Saturday was awesome, man. Those were two really, really good episodes. We'll talk about in a month, I guess. But
Well,
Yeah,
and,
for those of you who
hopefully
don't-
this Saturday we'll get at least the one episode that's just going to be a
No,
complete.
we need to get two in.
Oh, two for sure, but the first one of the two is going to be.
Right, because this
Yeah.
weekend is going to be the weirdest week. Like, you want to talk about a roller coaster? Because this weekend, for those of you that have watched the series, this weekend we're going to be watching the episodes "Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down" and "Hand of God," which are two of the most
Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. Didn't you say that was like a comedy episode, right?
right.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Tie
looking
Me
forward
Up,
to that.
it's like "Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down" is a comic farce, while "Hand of God" is a pure military action flick.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
right
it's
on.
like they're total
They-
opposites. Yeah,
Yeah, tonally, you could not get further apart.
yeah. But they're
Well, I
also
tell you what-
two of the best episodes in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I forgot. I'm glad I took the time to rewatch these or this episode today.
And no credit, I don't smell burning wood outside right now.
Is there some kind of fire going on in Tennessee?
If there is, it's not near me.
All right. Man, great episode, great ending. I actually, I'm also a little, I'm predisposed to tearing up. Like the end of this episode got me, man. Like that moment between Adama and Starbuck.
Once she was back on board, yeah.
Yeah, when he gave her the stogie and kissed her forehead, and then she started to choke up. And God, man, thinking about it, that's
Well,
crazy.
This was
Yeah,
really, I mean, starting with her fessing up about Zach,
Well, that was
And-
last week.
right, which was in part one of this.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, this is really the beginning of the Adama Starbuck father-daughter relationship.
I tell you what is
And
beautiful.
it
The last scene
continues
was
on.
beautiful.
Yeah, it continues on through the series. And I will tell you, in Hand of God, it really takes it's a major part of it.
Okay.
And so, which is one of the things I really love about that episode, is there's a scene, and I'm sure you know the scene I'm talking about, Jason. There's a scene where they're talking about the stresses of flying, and Adama is talking to Starbuck when she's working out, trying to rehabilitate her leg.
We'll talk about the stresses of flying
You
that
don't know the scene I'm
that
talking
toaster in this episode we're about to go over. That was
No,
crazy.
it's in Hand of God. That
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, speaking of stressful flying, like when she
Right.
accidentally she's like shoots its weapons off. She's like, note
Oh,
to self.
yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, don't do that again.
And you know, there should have been honestly. What would have been funny is if what was it, 6 degrees of separation, where Tyrrell was inside the thing looking around.
Yeah.
And there should have been like a big note on that gland. Say, do not touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a post-it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
of
would have been
course,
funny if they had
yeah.
have used hexagonal post-its all inside. Yeah. But yeah, no, I know the scene you're talking about in Hand of God, between Kara and Adama, and yeah, they just build all throughout the next few seasons, and then they set up for the big setup, and that will be a tears are not optional thing. That's for sure.
An image of a city. I don't know if good thing. All right. Sorry.
You went. Don't
Thomas,
touch the
don't
button.
send me Skype things in the middle of the show, because then I click on Skype and it does that.
Oh, so you could
StreamYard
hear yourself that time roboting. Okay. All right.
No, I could see that that StreamYard froze.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just looking it up real quick. Fire in Tennessee.
Hexagonal Chronos, sorry. Hexagonal, I know.
I don't.
I'm making up words today.
I don't see anything. I'm just trying to.
I did pump out some pretty. I mean, it's a weird thing to brag about, but I did pump out some pretty sweet
Weird.
business cards for a client today that I'm pretty proud of. I think they look pretty nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh. Now if I could just get another website client, then I wouldn't have any worries. It's like literally just like one deal, and I'm good for a month or two if I do it right.
It's like selling cars or houses. It's like,
yeah,
just give me one sale.
just one sale.
So it looks like there's a wildfire that's considered controlled. That's about. Looks like 40 miles away from where I'm at. And I could see where it looks like the smoke could have blown into Nashville, but Nashville is like northwest of the fire and I'm southwest of the fire. And that's why we're not.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it would never, it'd be really weird.
So
to blow
the smoke's
towards
just going in a different direction.
Yeah.
So, Stan, do I still have my? No, you revoked my privileges. Wow. Okay. Well, I was going to click on Stan. Stan, F you, man. Frack you. Yeah. No. Losers use Squarespace. You want to use that SaaS? You go for it.
That sounds right.
No. Garbage.
Yeah, don't pay for someone like Danny. I mean, look at him. He'll just get a black eye.
Did you say I was just going to get a black guy? Wow, racist much? Jeez Louise, man.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I last used Dreamweaver.
Is that even still a thing?
Weaver.
I don't think it is it? I got the suite. Let me look.
I think it
What is in the current
technically
Adobe
is.
suite? I think there's something in the Adobe suite for.
What is it? Dreamweaver, though? Yeah, Dreamweaver's still in there. Wow.
Yeah, Dreamweaver is still part of the Adobe suite.
Wow. Remember when that was a Macromedia product before Adobe bought them out?
Yeah, Macromedia.
Well, that's what
Dreamweaver.
Adobe's been doing. Like they own Cinema 4D now, which used to be an independent program.
Yeah.
I remember when Cold Fusion used to be a big deal.
I'm just a gigolo.
Wow, that's just like
Everywhere I go, life goes on without me.
It's like, excuse me, let me go reinstall my copy of Microsoft Front Page.
Oh, wow. Front page.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking for services from Jason, you can check out his MySpace page. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
MySpace. What was it?
I definitely don't have one of those.
Was are we in your top 5 or top, what like?
I don't remember what I never
I
had
can't
a
remember what it
MySpace. So
No, I know those that whole MySpace framework was such a mess. I just
yes, Navigator. Remember Netscape?
Yeah.
Netscape Navigator.
yeah.
Man, those were y'all are taking it back to the good old days.
Man, that's when you had to install a
First
browser
computer
for
I built was
floppy
a
disks.
286. That was a fun build. You had to do all the dip switches in it.
Yeah, dip switches didn't go away for a long time.
So yeah, how did we get on this?
I don't know.
We're
By the
just
way,
talking.
We just
2400
need
baud modem,
we
that
just
was-
needed to make up for a lack of 3 weeks of small talk.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I think that's all it was. So yeah. So imagine we're going to be doing this for the next 2 hours and then sign off. So I hope you didn't want to watch anything about You Can't Go Home Again, because we're never
So
going to get.
hey, man, for those of you who are like me and like, oh my God, is Starbuck gonna make it or not? Spoiler alert. Yeah, she makes it. We're good. Mom is at church, Kronos. She said that in my chat. I know you're on the more popular channel.
Yeah,
That's
she's
fine.
in his top 5 on his MySpace.
I tell you what, though,
He calls
guys.
it My Chat, though.
Ha ha. So I did want to. Jason hasn't been around, I don't think, for me to share this. Maybe we talked about Saturday. I can't remember. But
Oh, the AWE or not AWE,
AEW?
but the AEW wrestling thing. Yeah.
dude,
I watched
man.
it the night you posted it.
oh my God,
Yeah.
it has
What's
it
up
has
to
over
now?
70,000 views. Can you believe that?
Man.
That's nuts. When I posted this video, I had like 123 subscribers. Now
Yeah, you're
I
up to,
have
like, 240 or something?
244.
Yeah.
244.
Hey,
Off of one
sometimes
freak. I gotta start going to these wrestling things and just posting videos like this, man. Good Lord.
just
You know?
lightning.
145
strikes sometimes.
comments. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
You know what?
You got to make sure
What you need
you're
to
ready
do
for those.
is-
Ready for this what?
I say
you need-
ready. You just got to make sure you
you
stay
need to
ready for these
recut-
opportunities.
Yeah.
But you should recut that video and then show the fact that you now have a black eye and broken glasses, and say,
And pretend that it was all because of that.
"Yeah." And say,
Well,
Dude,
the glasses
I'm
that are
coming after
broken
you,
are the
man.
ones Mox spit on. So there was that.
see.
Yeah.
So you need to start talking trash to him, and maybe you'll get his attention.
You know, I ran into him at a Target once. He used to live. He and his wife used to live here in Vegas, and I was actually I was proud of myself. I didn't bug him. I was just like, "Oh wow, Mox, big fan. What up?" And he just does the head nod, and I walked off. I'm sure he probably appreciated that because a lot of people would have just probably harassed him in that situation. Bird of prey. I fought the pavement. Is what happened.
No, he fought a little old lady in a wheelchair, and she beat the crap out of him.
With her purse had a brick in it.
Yeah.
He fought the law, and the law won.
So this episode is technically part 2 of a 2-parter. And even though, it's such a serialized show that saying it's a 2-parter is almost kind of silly.
Yeah, I
yeah,
like
I mean,
how
it's
the
not like
previous episode had to be continued. It's like, well, of
Every
course.
episode should be
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I remember bringing that up. Yeah.
But I think the reason they did that is because the last episode didn't have a complete resolution to it. Because usually at the end of the episode, everybody's back at the base, everybody's doing okay, or we know what the situation is. But at the end of the last episode, Starbuck had just been shot down.
And Thomas, Iron Sheik passed away at 81 today. But as far as wrestlers goes, that was a pretty damn good run. I mean, Roddy Piper didn't even make it to like 64 or 65. So,
Oh man.
So there you go. There's your dead wrestler.
Well, no, he asked. I'm not just randomly. You would know, but I can't click
I
on the
had
comments.
the comment on the screen and you ignored it.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, so this is so they call this a two-parter, but it's a two-parter in the middle of a serialized story that is both connected at both ends. So it's like it would be almost as if you have a serialized story, but one of the episodes is double length. I think, so we pick up right where the other one leaves off. Starbuck bails out of her Viper and is parachuting down to the planet.
I do wish they would have let the audience, or would not have let the audience in as soon as they did, because I really like the, I don't know if tension's the right word, but like just the whole Lee and Adama were really like torn up over trying to find her, thinking she not acknowledging that she could be dead. Like Adama was very adamant. He's like, "No, we'll find her. No, she's fine." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and Lee was constantly willing to keep going back out, and he was pushing everybody to fix my bird, get me back in the air.
Yeah.
A way I think I would have cut it if I was the showrunner, and because I agree. I think the way I would have cut this episode would be you have that opening shot of her Viper just spiraling down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you see of Starbuck for like the first half of the episode. At least.
Yeah, I think that would have been way more. I think that would have helped the viewer feel the same kind of tension,
And then so then you tell the entire Lee and Bill Adama story with them desperately trying to search for her, all the way up to the lone Cylon Raider coming at Galactica and Lee jumping in his Viper. Then you cut to, you say 12 hours earlier, and you see the Viper spiraling out of control again, and now you tell the same story from Star's perspective.
So, Thomas, thanks for stopping by. Assalamu alaikum. As far as where to watch this, if you go to supportsalty.com and do the $20 tier, you get access to the Plex server.
But you should really watch it on Peacock to support. You want to support these people.
Oh, yeah. Or watch it on Peacock.
So Peacock is if you want to stream it. But honestly, I think the best thing to do is to go to Amazon.com and buy the Blu-ray box set. It is so worth the money. It's like $56 for the entire series and Blood and Chrome and The Plan and Razor, which are the movies that go along with it. It also includes the miniseries. It's so worth it, and it's really, really good.
I still like my idea. I think you should add a tier where random people, because other channels do this. They charge a lot, but some people pay for it to have people join the watch-alongs. They pay like.
Well, maybe if we grow the channel to a point where it might be feasible, I could add like $100 tier or something for that. But
yeah, something like that.
But
I mean, hell, the Salty Nerds just did a thing where they let a guy he paid so much money he got to be their guest host remotely on yesterday's live stream. I thought that was a neat idea.
So they just straight up accept bribes.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't we all? Aren't we all whores on YouTube? I mean, technically,
we seek to incentivize.
I think whore is not quite the term I would use.
Sorry.
I would say, escort service maybe.
It's the YouTube streamer experience.
All
instead
the
of the girlfriend experience, right?
Yeah.
And of course, then you got Bird of Prey 5. He's a straight up whore. But no, Although that's something we should probably not be talking about during the live stream.
What's that?
How to do the tiers of Patreon and stuff.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Behind the scenes kind of thing.
Well, maybe some of the fans here would like to chime in, give some suggestions. Although I do see that there are 14 of you watching, but only 5 of you have hit that thumbs up. Come on, y'all. Show a little class.
Well, that's because they're like, when are they going to talk about the freaking episode?
Hit the thumbs up. Well, we started a little bit,
Yeah,
we're still on the same
but then
frame.
you derailed it by changing it over to talking about Patreon levels where people can just join our discussions.
I was answering a question from the chat. Good Lord. Bird is here. What are you talking about, Kronos? I just saw him a second ago.
Yeah, he was up there.
He's
a little
somewhere in
ways.
there. He's lurking around. All right, so we have then we find out that Hot Dog was picked up by Crashdown and Boomer.
Along with his lunch, apparently. He must have yacked in there.
He puked all over the place. But so he survived. We find that out early on. He lets them know that the last he saw of Starbuck, she was spiraling towards the planet, but it looked like she was still able to maneuver a little bit, which is what convinces Adama and that he is alive, or she is alive.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, both Commander Adama and Apollo are 100% committed to finding her.
Stanley, that was a good. That's toward the end of the episode. What if it was me down there? He's like, I'd never leave.
We would never leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bird wants me to kick you off the panel.
All right, everybody, have a good time. I'll see you later.
Wow. Oh, Bird, if you send me enough money.
It's not as funny when I can't remove myself from the thing like I used to.
You can still remove yourself. You just can't add yourself back in.
Well, yeah, I guess. I can't go to the backstage area. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And stop doing stupid things.
If it was you, we'd never leave. Yeah, no, Stanley, I agree, man. Like, this was a good episode. There was some good acting in this episode, man.
Yeah, it was if it was you, we'd never leave scene. That got me.
It's a gut wrencher, that one.
So here we have yet another, and I got to say, this is something that they do on the show pretty effectively. Usually I don't like the overuse of color filters on lenses, but what they do is they use the color filters not just to set mood or tone, but to show that you're in a completely unhealthy environment. So orange environments on this show are bad. You notice like Caprica with the radiation, everything's orange.
Right.
Here you have a toxic atmosphere, everything's orange. So if there's an orange filter on the camera, that's bad news for our heroes. Cylons, of course, don't care. But,
yeah, and it's these very careful uses of color that got me so agitated with the color and the light levels in various shows recently just being so
out of whack.
Well, yeah, or just not consistent.
Well, like Star
Trek,
Trek,
consistent and just being the whole thing the same way the whole way through, and it's like, come on, man!
Star Trek as a franchise
stories.
has been so all over the map in the last few shows, right? So I mean, either so dark that we're begging them to turn up the lights, or so bright that we're begging them to turn down the lights.
Yeah, shut off the lens flare generators.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, come on, guys, why can't we just properly light a scene? It's not that difficult, And if you want a more cinematic look, I get it, but that doesn't mean you turn off the lights. You just need to turn them down a little bit.
Mexico is orange. Yeah. Well, lately it definitely, unfortunately, deserves a lot more orange color. It's
Well,
definitely not safe.
is Mexico bad? I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
I think we should annex Mexico. Just take them over. I don't even annex. I just say invade. Yeah.
Round
Canada
3.
too. We just like, I say, bring the troops home. Bring all the troops forget about the rest of the world. Screw the rest of the world. Bring the troops home and just start invading our neighbors. Invade Canada. So that way we have everything up to the North Pole, right? Because Alaska's already ours. So we have everything on this hemisphere up to the North Pole. Then we invade Mexico. We move down through Mexico into what's on the southern border? Is it not Guatemala? Is it Panama?
Well, there's like 8 or 9 countries down there. There's
right, but I mean
Guatemala,
right on the
Honduras.
southern border of Mexico.
I think there's 2 that touch down there, but yeah.
Well, you just keep moving. I mean, we just send the army down. We take over all of South. Look, yeah, there's a lot of drug cartels there. Are they going to really be able to stand up to the United States Marine Corps? Heck no.
Somebody's been playing the game of Risk a little too much lately.
If we don't want to send the Marines, I get it. Fine. I understand. We don't want to risk our boys in uniform. Very simple solution. And Lee with a $20 super chat.
Super chat.
Says, here's my regular donation to help keep Salty from going out to cause havoc in the street. As I'm talking about causing havoc all across the Western Hemisphere.
All this discussion of invasion all of a sudden.
Well, first of all, Canada's easy because you guys are going to, Canada's just going to surrender.
Well, we would just welcome you in and then say sorry when you
like,
stub your toe.
Hey, it's all yours. Want some poutine? That'll be the.
Yeah, we won't shoot you. We'll just feed you with food that'll kill you.
Yeah, which we are. We'll be like, come on, man. We've eaten Nashville hot.
Try harder. We put cheese in a can and it sprays.
So, but you see, if we don't want to, waste our men in uniform on our invasion of South America, it's very simple. All we got to do is say, hey, put out a regular thing and say, hey, all you guys in the southern United States, here's what you do. You want to practice using your guns? Free invasion. Done. And then our army guys can just follow them up, make sure they're following Geneva Convention rules, and follow them up and establish the territory. We established the state of Peru and the state of Brazil and all that. And
we can't even make Puerto Rico a state, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Can you imagine? There'd just be all these territories, and it would just be like constant gridlock.
We're gonna, okay, fine. But if they want to be territories, fine. Because I'm actually all for them being territories. You know why? Territories get to pay taxes, but they do not get representation in Congress. So fine, if they want to be a territory and have no representation and no say in the government, that's their problem. But either way, they're going to be part of the United States, right? And so then we have the entire Western Hemisphere as the United States of America. Right?
Oh, you want to make that name stick hard, don't you?
Yeah, that name's going to stick hard because America is going to be America, right?
Yeah.
America, yeah, right. So then, we're gonna just say to the rest of the world, all right, guys, we got one hemisphere. Don't piss us off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think that's a doable plan. Anyway, so Starbuck is lying on the orange ground. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry. I'm in a weird mood today.
His little machinations is.
he threw his whole shoulder right into that one.
Right.
Just give her.
You don't like my invasion plan? It would work.
Oh, I'm fine with it as long as I get to use American dollars.
Yeah, you see,
Stuff will stop costing so damn much.
That's the funny thing is that the civilian population, I guarantee you, the civilian population of almost every country involved would be all for it.
It's funny.
That's the funny thing about it.
I don't know why this just reminded me. Did you guys hear they changed the title of Captain America: New World Order? It's not called New World Order anymore.
Yeah.
Why do
think
they
they
not
changed-
want to associate with the Republican Party?
I don't know. No, I think it was
No,
more
they
of like a wrestling thing. I think they changed it to like Brave New World or something like that.
Yeah, Brave New World, which is like
That's like
they
George
do
Orwell, isn't it?
that's not Orwell. It's oh man, I cannot remember the name of the guy. Matthew's got the book.
My
Aldous
Brave New
Huxley.
World, I told you, the United States of America.
The Aldous Huxley book, Brave New World. So it's like I don't think that they've got properly educated people writing the new
Stanley
titles.
says Huxley.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Huxley. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Lee, again, thank you so much for the $20. I do really appreciate it. I didn't mean to gloss over it because, you know, that was really nice of you. And it will help keep me off the streets causing havoc. Because as you can see, I live in the American South. I'll start the revolution. You don't want that to happen. I'll be charging in on my wheelchair. You know?
Hey, look at this. You have another soup.
Hey, Captain Phantom Nerd, thank you so much, buddy. Says your invasion plan sounds like a Karoga plan. No, the Karoga plan would fail. That's the difference. And my invasion plan, see, here's how my invasion plan works, is that we start out by lining up some troops on the border. And then, as you know, as president of the United States, I call President Trudeau, say if in Canada's case, and say, okay,
Trudeau's not a president. I thought he's a prime minister.
Prime Minister Trudeau, and say, okay, Trudeau, we're going to invade, or you can just surrender. And you know what Trudeau's going to do? He's going to be, okay, yeah, it's all yours. You know, you have to talk to the Quebec people because they're kind of weird, but everything else is and you know that's exactly how it would go down, right?
Yeah, everyone has to check with Quebec, and then we can move forward.
And then Quebec, some people are going to raise a fuss in Quebec about, oh, we're going to be independent. And then they're going to look at the United States Marine Corps and say, well, independence is overrated. And so then,
Actually, someone will just show them the 10th Amendment, and they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, I like this.
yeah, that's the funny thing is that it's like they'll realize that under the United States Constitution, they will have so much better protections and stuff.
Well,
and
internal
same thing, like moving
freedom,
south.
yeah.
It's like people are going to be like, you know, oh, you terrible America. Wait a minute, your laws say that we can freedom of speech. We won't get shot for saying the president sucks. Really? Okay, I'm in. You know that's so.
Yeah, because Quebec, as a side note, to go completely off the rails, Quebec is the only place that any prime minister has ever activated the War Powers Act and rolled tanks down the main streets of the largest city in Quebec.
So Quebec is Karoga.
These are their opinions. I'm all about. Canada, our home and native land.
You just blew it though because you're calling Quebec Canada.
Well, it is in
Quebec.
Canada.
No, Quebecans get very offended by that.
Quebecers,
Quebecois.
Quebecistans.
Quebecistan,
Yeah, they get very offended by being called Canadians.
Quebecistanis.
They are not Canadians according to them. Anyway, so Starbucks unconscious on the ground, and she wakes up, and so she's like, "Oh,
parachutes!"
crap!
Dragging her away.
Unfortunately, this planet has an atmosphere, and it's pulling me away. And you know, she's lucky. I mean, like honestly, this is one of those things that she's actually incredibly lucky because even though the planet atmosphere is poisonous, the winds and stuff aren't so intense that they just rip her to shreds. Because a lot of planets that would be the case.
Well, it does jack her knee up pretty bad, you know.
Yeah, but it doesn't rip her leg off.
This is true.
You know.
Yeah.
Canada of America, famous bear says. Okay. I don't know. That doesn't have a really good ring to it. Anyway.
And by the way, and the other thing that the Quebecans will like is that there's no official language, which means they can continue to speak their fake language.
Well, yeah, that's the bigger thing, yeah.
Dude,
You know,
like,
so.
how is it? Never mind. Don't get me started on that.
And, you know, so that's all fine and dandy. And then people can drive from the North Pole to the southern tip of South America without a passport. How awesome would that be?
Well, we used to be able to do that in the 90s, but So I don't know if
No,
you
you
can hear
couldn't
the
drive all the way
noise.
down to the southern tip of South America without a passport. You could just drive up.
I went
you
to
could drive
Canada.
up.
No, I went to in 1998. I went to and I've never had a passport in my life. I went to Vancouver, Penticton in
Right, but you
Vancouver.
couldn't drive down to the southern tip of Brazil.
Yeah, once you hit the Mexican border, that's when things change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, before 9/11, we used to be able to go back and forth to each other's countries quite easily.
Yeah, you could go north but not south, Stan. So
Well, anyways, what I was going to say, I guess you're not hearing it. I'm getting these loud things. My Walking Dead lamp I put up for sale this morning is just
I
all
heard
of
a
sudden-
ding. Was that like you?
Yeah, it's starting to blow up. So
Well, that's
Sorry
good. So
about
you're
that.
gonna sell it then?
I hope so. Man, that's really loud.
You know, make sure you jack up the prices on these things. You know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. People just keep talking me down. Like, so this was really aggravating. So yesterday I
You're
had
a
the
horrible
couch.
negotiator. You know.
Yeah, well, I'm more like Obama. I come too low. You know, I start out like with what I think is fair, and then they want to bring me down below fair instead of just hey, that's fair. But no, yesterday I thought I had the entertainment center sold. This lady and I were talking throughout the day, gave her all the dimensions, told her, just answered all these questions for her. She's like, all right, cool. I want it. What's the address? Gave her the address. And then, so are you firm on the price or would you be willing to take 2 for it? And it was 3. And I'm like, really? Like that is so out of order. Like you do that part first.
Right, you
You know.
negotiate the price. If
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna
was just like,
negotiate, and then yeah, but I know, I people are jerks. Daniel, the episode we were talking about today is "You Can't Go Home Again." Apparently, the name of the episode should have been "We Can't Talk About This Episode." Because we keep getting
We
sidetracked.
can't stay on target.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd play the video, but I'm grounded again.
yeah. The more you complain about it, the longer you're going to be grounded.
No, I figure it's going to be at least until the shiner's gone. So, at least.
Well,
Vitamin D.
No good, I can't maneuver.
Stay on target.
We're too close.
Stay on target.
all right.
Although vitamin D for you is go outside in the daytime for about 20 minutes and you're done.
Yeah.
You don't
Although
have to
today
take
was-
supplements.
Today's been gorgeous in Vegas. Like, it's not too hot, not too cold.
People
Little
want to
teeny.
see the shiner, by the way.
Good for them. They got to pay money for it.
Yeah,
You wanted to see the truffle shuffle last week?
All right,
Ariel
$20
dropped $50
super
bucks.
Chat, $20
You know?
super chat, and Danny. Well, I will make Danny full screen, and he'll take off his glasses for you. So
That's
20
fair.
bucks,
That's fair. All right, that's
Yeah.
fair.
and Danny will show the.
I get none of it, but that's fair.
After this week, you don't deserve any of it.
I know. Dude, this guy, is this a scam? Okay, this is weird. This dude wants me to, like, send a code to verify I'm real?
Yeah,
never had
What
that-
system?
What is he trying to do?
Just wants to make sure I have a real phone. Like, he's trying to buy my lamp off of me, supposedly. I mean, I just sent the code. I hope I didn't.
Yeah, he's
Something
going to
weird
try to
doesn't
scam
happen.
you, dude. We had someone try to do something like that.
Yeah.
I would just like, if he
No.
does anything other than like give you money.
Yeah.
LD,
I got a really cool
55
Star
or am I
Trek
firm
lamp.
on 20.
Yeah, are you firm on 20? That's funny. I have a really cool Star Trek lamp I'm going to post for sale. I wish I could just afford to send it to you, Salty, because it's actually really cool. I have 2 of them. I have one that's the bridge of the Enterprise D, the fat one, and then I have one that's the base is the Star Trek emblem, and then the pole chain is the Enterprise, like NC 1701, the original
Really?
series. Yeah, it's really that one's really cool. That's the one I'm
Oh,
going to
man,
post
you'd
tomorrow.
have to show that to me.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. And so no, LD, I'm firm on 20. Sorry, buddy. I'm not Danny. I'm not a soft negotiator. You know,
Wow,
you want
soft.
to? It's the super.
Just call me soft. I don't even get any of this money, man. What the heck, dude?
The super shiner is $20. Period. But you do get a full screen of Danny taking off his glasses. 5 is better than 0. Yeah, not much. Not compared to 20. No one's going to pay 20. You know what? A certain person would probably pay $50 just to see Danny naked. So, I'm.
Whoa. No. I draw the line. I did the truffle
complaining
shuffle.
about what we were doing earlier.
Yeah, right.
Mr.
Come on,
Mr. Crawford.
That person has paid multiple times to see you do things that,
I think that's a lot more than incentivizing.
Look, no, we got to hold up.
Your new girlfriend.
If somebody paid $50 to see my fat A double hockey, whatever, crooked letter, do the truffle shuffle, it's got to be more for full nudity. And even then, maybe down to my boxers, but that's about it. I got my limits, man. I got my limits.
Yeah. So
there's a red line.
No sea cucumber for you. All right. So anyway, back to the epised. And that look on Starbucks' face is, that's her seeing Danny naked.
Well, that's not very nice.
Well, in the one hand, she's showing exactly how big your junk is, and in the other hand, she's trying to cover her eyes.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you really want to go there, I have this thing called elephantitis of the.
Yeah, sure you do. Elephantitis, where her fingers are this far apart.
No, I was gonna. My balls are so huge you can't even see my penis.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Okay. Poor guy.
This has got to be a scam. This person's like, "Do you have a land?" Like, this isn't working. Blah blah blah. Man, I hate this. Okay.
Just tell them you're not interested in scammers. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Because what he wants to do, and here's what they do, is that then they try to set up some fancy way of electronically paying for it. You don't get
cash only. I've told everybody it's cash only.
And then you don't get the money, and they say, that's weird. Try to send it back to me, and then I'll do it again.
Yeah.
That's what they do, and people fall for it.
Yeah, you should just reply back and ask him how many people he knows in Nigeria.
That's a good one. I think I might do that. I like that one. Yes. Or do you know any Nigerian princes?
Yeah. Or just lead out real subtle and just go, "Do you know anyone in royalty?" And then if he claps back, just go, "'Cause you're reminding me of."
This person's trying to steal my thing because now it says, "Don't share this code with anyone," and I already screwed up and shared it.
What did you use? Telegram?
What is the code for?
Damn it. Okay.
Is it Telegram?
Who's the code from? Danny.
The guy that was trying to buy the.
Yeah.
Who generated the code? Where did the
Google?
Code
Google Voice.
Oh, Fred, you sent him
basically charge your Google account.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Check your Google Pay account right quick.
Yeah, I will. Hold up. God bless.
Do you have 2-factor turned on your Google account?
Yeah, that's what that code's for. So, man.
Why would you give someone the code?
Yeah, because
I'm barely paying attention, I'm talking to you guys. I got this going on. It's just like,
crafty people are crafty, man.
They are, man.
They
why
live.
Would they need access to your account to buy something from you?
Do they want a Best Buy gift card?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're like a whole 45 seconds into this episode.
Yeah,
yes, I know. But if you need to do something to secure your Google account,
I'm not going to worry about it. I'm really not.
What do you mean you're not going to worry about it?
Because I don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. There ain't nothing they can steal from me. You know what I mean? There's nothing there. I think I got maybe. Hold up. I think I literally have. 1 second, please. I'll even show you guys because again,
Hey, why don't you? Hey,
I
do me
care
a
not
favor.
about my security.
Show me
Yeah,
your
I have a
password.
whopping 30 cents. Can you see that? A whopping.
No,
You can't even see it.
hey, while you're at it, give me your password. And
Yeah, I have a
I'd
whopping
actually-
30 cents in my Google Pay account. I'm not worried
Yeah.
about it. So
I'd be more worried about them hijacking your account in general as opposed to
right,
Yeah.
that's probably what they want to do, and so they're going to probably want to change your password and stuff. I would do it right now.
Yeah,
I don't
actually,
even know who to
that's-
contact about that.
Go to Google and just change.
Well, yeah,
your
just go to
password.
your Google account and change your password right away. Because if your main Dork Knight
'Cause
LV,
they will go in and change your password.
All right, I'm doing
and
it
they,
right now.
yeah, and they can take over your YouTube channel and cause all kinds of chaos for you.
How do I do this? Damn it! I hate people.
Do www.google.com.
I'm at Google, but I don't see where to do the settings.
If you go up and click on
Accounts.
your face,
Okay. Yeah.
click on your
All right,
face
privacy,
icon there. And
privacy, security, security.
So it'd be under security.
yeah,
All
and
right,
it'll
two-step.
be
Okay, I do have my two-step verification on. So there's that.
Yeah,
that's
which
good.
you
And
change it.
but then change your password.
Changing my
pronto.
password right now.
Yeah.
All right, shit. Okay. Next. All right, new password. All right, I have a bad
Don't
habit.
tell us what it is.
I know, so I'm going to mute my thing. I have a bad habit of this. All right.
Let me see. I like big butts. 23.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that. It's like the reverse problem of typing what everyone else is saying. You start
Yeah.
typing a careful password, and then you start saying it out loud. 47 Yorktown, new password, password 69.
All right, so yeah, I know, Bird. This is compelling YouTube. I apologize, but we don't want Danny to get scammed out of his 30 cents. Not to mention his YouTube.
I'm more worried about my YouTube channel now that I got those glorious 200 and something subscribers.
Yeah, that's what you really. Well, yeah, you want. Wow. Hey, traction's traction.
Hey, man, I'm not complaining. It's funny because I was talking to Vader. He called me up the other day to congratulate me on the video, just randomly. And I said, yeah, it's a shame I can't monetize it. He's like, bro, you'd maybe make $6. I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I feel a little bit better.
That's $6 more than you had before.
Ooh. No. Oh, whoa. How do I? You will. No.
What?
I do not want to stay signed on these. So I changed my password, but it says you will stay signed on to these devices after changing your password. And I don't recognize 3 of them.
So then say
Yeah,
no.
say
sign
no,
off
and
all
it'll
devices.
kick you off all of them. It'll
You may have
auto-log
to
you
you may
out.
have to restart your StreamYard, but that's fine. Well, you can
Okay.
because that means they're logged into your account right now. So you want to kick them out.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing it right.
I'm working on it right now. Good God, man. Sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Sorry. I said it wrong. Sorry.
Hey, you've said it enough times. You don't even have to say it right now.
Sorry.
Okay, I
frequency-
found. Okay, sign out. Yeah, some weird thing called Alcatel. Signed out of that. That's fine. Okay.
That sounds like a mobile device of some kind.
Crisis averted. I'm good.
Yay!
Good. All right. Thank you, guys. And I just got an email from Google Security making sure it was me. I guess I should let them know it was.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, yeah.
We're good now.
Oh no, you don't want to mess around with this kind of stuff because getting a human at Google, if you really needed to get something straightened out,
Yeah,
Ain't
good
it's
luck.
hard enough for the giant people that have Google accounts
Yeah.
and stuff, let alone us little people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Back to the show. Has she even broke her knee yet? What's going on here?
She's
Oh,
in
yeah,
the process of breaking her knee.
Okay. All right.
All right, so she gets dragged down, the parachute's pulling her, and right there is like,
She's about to hit that rock, and man,
Yeah.
it hurt me watching it.
yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, that's some actually halfway decent stunt work there. Whoever they got being dragged across those rocks.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not super heavy duty actiony stuff, but it's enough to where, it's believable when she comes out of that it looks like she really jacked up her leg.
Yeah.
I want to report this person.
All right, and don't worry about it. Just leave it alone. And
All right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do because they're probably using a sock puppet account anyway. So.
They're probably not even in the country.
Yeah, fair enough.
More than likely, they're in India.
Or Russia or Ukraine.
Did you guys see the new? Probably not. Did you guys see the new Spider-Man movie?
No. I'll see
so
it on my stream.
If
I
may,
liked
just
Into the
for
Spider-Verse enough, but I didn't love it.
Oh, I liked it a lot. So this, just a full warning, because a lot of people didn't know this. This is a part 1, and it ends on a cliffhanger. And thankfully, the next movie's coming out in like 9-10 months, so it's not like too long a wait. It's like 2.5 hours long for a part 1, but it did not feel like it. It was really, really good. And what I love the most about it, so my ex-wife and I took our 2 kids to see it, and both of my children, who are artists, they were sitting on the edge of their seat like this. And after the movie, they kept talking about, because, like the first movie has a bunch of different art styles, very mixed media kind of feel. And this time we get to spend time in Gwen Stacy's world, which is all like watercolor based. And that's my daughter's favorite thing is watercolor. So like it was a joy just listening to my kids talk about, different art styles used in the movie after watching the movie. It was really cool. But I'm not going to spoil anything.
Me,
it was
one of the
good,
weaknesses of the first one was the art style. I thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hated it.
Either love it or hate it. I've found.
I thought the story was good. I thought the art style was annoying and distracted.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the art style, but I am also one of the people that really, really enjoyed the style in Arcane.
Dude, I will say they mix some live action stuff, and there are 3 dope ass live action Easter eggs in it that have me convinced the next movie we might get, like a No Way Home thing in addition to Miles. You know what I mean? Like, because they enter the Venom verse, they enter like all these different things that were live action. It was really cool. It was very well done in my opinion.
Well, Nerdrotic's really pissed off about that movie, so.
I didn't know that. My mom watches Gary. I enjoy
he's
his
pissed
channel
off because he hated the fact that they're calling Miles Spider-Man.
Well, that's what he's called in the comics.
Right, yeah. But no, he's like, no, Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Man, he's got to get over that.
Miles is just Miles.
No.
Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
That's like saying Spider-Gwen's not like that. Right. That Spider-Woman's Spider-Gwen. No, that's her real name. The fans know that, so we call her Spider-Gwen affectionately.
So I responded to his tweet saying, well, then I guess Picard can't be captain of the Enterprise, right?
I mean, see, I don't want to engage in stuff like arguments like that.
But that's the problem with that kind of thinking is that, look, I'm not, whether you like Miles Morales as Spider-Man or not, it doesn't matter. He's just a different iteration.
Exactly.
You don't have to be offended by his existence.
You know what Spider-Man was missing that really bummed me out? That I was really expecting to see? Just guess. You get one guess. Come on. You got to guess it.
Well, he wasn't Peter Parker, so he wasn't white. That's the problem.
No. The Japanese. No, I'm saying what version of Spider-Man wasn't in this movie because they had thousands of versions of Spider-Man.
Oh, did they not have Spider Noir?
No, he was in the very end. They didn't have the Japanese Spider-Man. You know who I'm talking about? Like I was really expecting to see that because they had a lot of deep cuts. The
Japanese Spider-Man from the other Spider-Verse movie, or the Japanese Spider-Man
from Japan, from like the 70s and 80s TV show.
That's not official Spider-Man though. That's just
though. I mean, come on, wouldn't that have been? I think that would have been cool. That's what I was like. Anyway,
and to anyone who's playing the
yes, Penny was in it. The Robot Girl was in it. Basically, everybody was in it. They weren't in it a lot. I mean, like, because there were so many. I mean, they even had Ben Reilly in there, Scarlet Spider. They even had this new one. I don't even know if it's from the comics or not. Like an Indian, dots not feathers, an Indian Spider-Man, and that part was cool. That part was really cool. Yeah, it was nuts, man. And they had Spider-Man 2099, who ends up. Well, that's a spoiler. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah,
But,
because I will want to watch that one when it's
Well, I'll
on,
probably end up
streaming.
watching it when I can watch both movies back to back.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is, it's going to be rough waiting that long for the end of the story.
Yeah, I don't do well with cliffhangers.
Yeah, there we go. LD just put out the paraphrase way better what I was going to ramble on about.
There
All
you go.
Spider-Man are the real Spider-Man.
Amen.
And if you don't believe in that, then you cannot like the new MCU Spider-Man at all.
Yeah.
Right, because he's not the same Spider-Man
Yeah.
as Tobey
He's not
Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Exactly.
Okay, Alex says the Indian Spider-Man is the thing from the comics. All right, well, he was
And by the way,
cool.
Tobey Maguire had organic web shooters, and the original Spider-Man didn't. So you could argue,
Yeah.
So who cares?
Man, we got to stop talking about this because I want to spoil some stuff. You're talking about stuff that I want to talk about. But Madam Stanley, that was another omission that I was bummed about. Madam Web was not
the lamest idea in the history of
That's
comics.
fine, but she's still very much canon. Was very popular in the animated series from the 90s, so a lot of people
I think
my
she was
age
popular.
know
I
her.
think it just was there.
Well, okay. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, shall we?
But don't worry, I heard a Madam Web movie is coming. So
I did too, but anyway, let's get back to Battlestar. Yeah.
Does he
So-
fly a Viper? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so back on Galactica, things are happening. They're trying to figure out a way to search the planet. Problem is the planet's atmosphere. You saw there's like sandstorms going all the time, but that sand that is also really gums up the works on the ships, and it makes it so they can't scan the planet. So, and I like this. They say they have to use Mark I eyeballs.
Yeah, I actually really appreciated that.
Mhm.
And so they're literally doing a visual search from the cockpit of their ships, trying to look around for wreckage to spot Starbuck. And
You know what it
that-
kind of like made me think of, and I know you don't like the movie Spaceballs, but it reminds me of that scene where they're like combing the desert. You guys find anything yet? He's like, we ain't seen shit.
Yeah.
You know the scene I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Michael.
it's
I know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that movie.
I do too. I don't know what's wrong with Michael. That's a good movie. Anyway, sorry.
I've already.
I'll have
said
to
that.
bring him some extra happy maple syrup next time I go down.
There you go.
I don't think that'll fix Spaceballs, but appreciate the gesture.
I'm still waiting for the search for more money. Wasn't that supposed to come out by now? Spaceballs 2, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, the problem is Spaceballs, like Galaxy Quest was a good parody. Spaceballs is a bad parody. That's, because Galaxy Quest was a love letter to Star
Dude,
Trek.
did you see-
Spaceballs was hate mail to Star Wars.
No, fair enough. Did you see the Popcast guys did a really good documentary on Galaxy Quest they just released like a couple weeks ago? Did you watch it?
No.
It's actually really good. I highly recommend it if you get it.
Is that the one that a bunch of people were doing a lot of work on?
Maybe.
Or
I
no.
mean, it's very well done.
There
you know,
there was a professional one that was done a while ago. I actually paid for it on
no. This was
on Google TV.
No, this
YouTube.
one-
yeah, no. This is on their YouTube channel. They just released it for free
Oh, okay.
on their YouTube channel like a couple weeks ago, maybe. It's actually very, very well done.
Yeah, because
I
the
enjoyed it.
one that I paid for is called. Where are you at? Where is that? Maybe I only rented it. I thought I bought it.
Uh-oh.
Can we? Are you done, or
Yeah.
can we go back to the show?
Back to the show.
All right. So they're trying to figure out a way to search the planet more efficiently, but they just don't have a lot. They have 46 hours before your oxygen supply is going to run out. So they need to get moving. And meanwhile, Colonel Ty correctly points out that they're putting the entire fleet at risk for trying to rescue a single pilot.
Yeah, when we get to the part with the president, remind me to ask you about Ty, because I was a little
I'll
conflicted
probably
about.
forget.
Okay.
I mean, you could say it now.
At this point,
just
might as well
ask
ask
now?
it now. We're
Yeah,
jumping
okay.
around. So
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
so when the president shows up, at first, like, he's like, are you here to order us to stop? And she's like, no, I'm here to have a conversation. And then, like, so at first you're thinking like he's saying that from a place of concern, but instead it's like, well, you might need to
and
order.
we got a Danny special.
Super Ted.
And hold on, I'm gonna have to.
Who's it from? I couldn't see it.
I know. I'm trying. Hold on. Oh man. So
Jason, after this, man, I've got to get with you on the Stream Elements thing because I need to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Please, like tonight, if you're down,
Yep. Well, I mean, as long as we don't go like 800 minutes
Yeah.
long on this,
Yeah.
which we might.
we'll roll the next 50 minutes real hard here, right?
Yeah. Well, while he's looking for that, what I was going to say is like, and then it just seemed like he was kind of throwing them under the bus. Was he?
Well,
like,
he was going by the book, right?
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, because
okay.
Because as far as he was concerned, the tactical security of the fleet was paramount to a single pilot. Now,
needs
from a
committee
writing perspective,
Outweigh.
Now, from a writing perspective, there seems, because again we see the full tapestry, as I think Brian has used that analogy before. We know fully from the viewer's perspective that there's a huge amount of animosity between Starbuck and Colonel Ty.
Yeah, but I
So
don't think he would maliciously
No,
be
no.
like F that,
But
because he has tried at least twice. I don't know if we've reviewed them yet. But he's tried at least twice to like bury the hatchet with her, and she's just been a dick.
Yeah,
both
she's
times.
got nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like that scene when he came in and he was all, let's make bygones be bygones, and then she just doubles down right in his face.
Yeah, and then we just watched an episode. I think it was one of the Saturday episodes where she drinks the water with him just to troll him. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell, man? Why are you being such a...
He's the one. I mean, she was trying to actually do a peace offering, and he was kind of a jerk about it.
Well, I guess he was just getting even for last time. I'll rewatch it when we review that. And I tell you what, Jason, you're making me hungry, bro. You got to do that shit off camera.
Sorry, man.
It's all
I'm
good.
trying to dip way off to the side so you can't see the
Well, you
food.
got the auto frame like I do, so your camera's following you.
Yeah.
What is?
I thought I was far enough over so that all you could barely make out was that something went in my mouth.
I don't know.
What are you eating? Some poutine?
Looks like a hoagie or something.
It's a meat sandwich with an au jus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just wrong, dude.
My buddy said he was going to take me out to sushi today.
I just
Never
say,
got back to
no,
me.
No,
I was pretty sure it said the Dork Knight on it. Someone put in the Dork Knight on it.
I don't doubt it. The weird thing is that it's like because OBS had some kind of weird update, and ever since the update, it reset everything.
Oh.
Well, the thing is I would say, hey, just put it in the regular chat, not a super chat. But because you do it the way you do it in anonymity, they used a fake name, and they probably don't want to dox themselves.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do
Or
that.
they want to
so-
have fun. That's how Joe Biden
Yeah,
always
that's the
donates
point.
money.
Is to have
Yeah.
fun with it.
Yeah.
But it's showing it says you have no stream activity. Like I didn't get anything, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, you just have to log on to the mainstream Elements webpage. And
Yeah.
it'll get you this.
All I can see with my limited access are the super chats, Lee Crystal and Captain Fandom Nerd. So that's different.
All right, it says, can we hurry up? The hockey game is on in 25 hours.
So it's Dork Knight. That's what the.
But it said it was Dork Knight saying it, so it.
Oh,
it kinda-
okay. Well, the
it
hockey
smelled-
game is in 24 hours and 46 minutes, but that's neither here nor there. We
smells
dude, that
like
last game.
Thomas.
Oh
It
my
smells
god,
like a
that
Thomas comment.
Well, Thomas left, so but maybe.
Yeah, but if he's working, he might have us playing on his phone. So
Dude, we whipped the stuffing out of Florida 2 nights ago. It was a massacre, 7-2. It was like we just destroyed.
It was a massacre, 7-2. That's not a
In hockey, that's a massacre, bro. Like
that's a snooze fest.
No, it was a good game.
Even on StreamElements.com, it shows no activity.
Oh, man, I wanted to share this. I have to find it. So you know how I said the little turtle comment that, and you guys turned into the tortoise? So the goalie, Hill, admitted to like one of the saves he made that was like a harrowing, like amazing save. He said in an interview that save made a turtle pop its head out. And I started laughing because I was like, yeah, I'm not the only one that says that.
Nice.
So now it's trying to get me to reset this crap up.
Well, he read it. We found it. You know.
Yeah,
I
know,
it was
but it's saying that I have to re-link the PayPal. So which is really weird.
Yeah, the other Danny showed up and put in a smarmy comment about how slow we are.
Hey, I'm happy to. Well, I don't want to hang too long because I've been meaning to do the Stream Elements thing with you for my wrestling show for a while because people keep saying they want to support me, but because I can't monetize YouTube.
Well, and it's good to have that in there anyway because, say that video that you posted that went viral. You go into your YouTube video posting settings and you put in a bunch of defaults for everything, and you could put in the donation link.
Yeah.
So even for static content, if somebody wants to throw you a $5.
We'll see what happens if we get another one. That was really weird.
Because, I mean, as you saw from that stream on whatever it was, like 6 weeks or 8 weeks ago when Drinker was on Salty
that was
Birds.
Insane over on
Yeah, well,
Salty
I was about to say, like, you never know what kind of weird generosity somebody's going to be in the right kind of mood for. And
right? Yeah.
all of a sudden you get money coming out your ears.
That would be nice. All right, I would love to have money coming out my ears. That would be sweet.
I don't know about you guys, but
mind.
I got enough hair coming out my ears. I don't need to have anything else.
You know what? I don't want more things coming out my ears either, but money I will take.
Yeah, I can live with that medical deficiency.
There you go. Yeah.
So
just look at his face. Look at his face.
Oh,
he's so good in this show, man.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, Edward James almost owns every scene he's in.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he is Commander Adama. And Lauren Green was great back in the day, but Edward James almost, I mean, it's like...
I'm guessing that was the original Adama.
Yeah, he was Adama in the original series. But it's like Johnny Cash's Hurt versus Trent Reznor. There we go. No, still didn't show up.
We got a super tip. I'm looking right at it. Aerial Ballet tip 420. Test. Is right over your face.
That might have been him.
The weird thing, though, is, and thank you, Ariel. I appreciate it.
Oh, she did send it. Oh, well, how about that?
And look at this comment we should highlight, even from the same person. Yes, even though you guys may be slow, at least you guys go over everything with a fine comb, as well as interact with the chat and keep us entertained. See, I'm all about the people. The people.
Oh, listen to you trying to sell yourself.
Oh, hey,
you got to interact with the
at
people.
me, laughed with me.
I don't care as long as you laugh.
As long as you're having a good time.
Yeah,
I'm having a good time.
I'm very much that Jerry Lewis school of thought. I don't care if you're laughing at me. I'm fine with that.
And see, it's just, I don't know what the heck.
Just look at the pain etched on this man's face. It's like he feels your pain. You can't solve your problem, and he's just like emoting it.
Actually, on a bit of a sad side note, I actually saw just a couple days ago that he was actually finishing going through a battle with throat cancer.
Oh no!
Edward
Really?
James almost.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Thomas, you can't blame Jason for the technical problems. It's a total
I can,
coincidence.
yeah.
I'm in a different country.
See, I blame OBS actually because they did some kind of update and now I can't see anything in OBS. So
We'll
I'm gonna have to make a video clip of
So hey
that's
guys,
you.
I'll be this. I got to take this call. I'll be right back.
Of course, because well, now we got a phone call on the middle.
Yeah, well, everything comes in threes, right?
In that case, where's our? We still need the $20 super chat, so we can show off the shiner. But it doesn't make any sense because I didn't change anything in the scenes for OBS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, in OBS, I can see the super chats. Like I see Captain Phantom Nerd's super chat, and I see Lee Crystal's super chat. But I do not see
The stream elements.
the
tips.
stream anything from stream elements. So I'm like, so somehow the stream elements and OBS got unlinked, and I need to figure out how to relink them.
Ariel. Yeah, so then we're blaming Jason for all these problems. Come on, Jason. What's Salty paying you for?
Yeah, really. I just hope you get a big pay raise at work. Your whole job is sitting around doing quality control on poutine.
That's what it's starting to seem like, yeah.
That'd be a great job. Poutine
Chasing
quality.
everybody?
No,
It'd be a frustrating job, but I wouldn't mind it.
Poutine quality control?
Sorry about that.
Poutine.
What's this poutine? You keep on using that word. I do not think it means the way you think it means.
Oh, I know what it means.
And it does not
I
mean
die.
what you think
It means I die a happy man. Fat and sassy.
Man. All right, so the president of Denmark are talking. She's talking to Baltar.
Oh my God! This I like how he tried to play this off with his wrist. Where he's like, this part right.
Yeah, and that's
Try to
not
have
the
a conversation
yeah.
with that sitting right in front of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
good Lord, that's a great pause. Thank you, sir.
I mean, that is absolutely hilarious. I mean, you see the president looking all cordial and official, and meanwhile, there's 6 dressed like a call girl, and it's
Well, she looks like one of the chicks at one of the day pools here in Vegas.
yeah, call girl.
enough.
So she starts sucking on his fingers while he's trying to talk to the president.
Yeah. What I like about the way they did this one compared to that one, remember in the hallway when she shoved him up into the bulkhead?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a whole crew of people just kind of walking by him like he was kind of like, what's wrong with you? But in this case, it was one-on-one, and it's like, okay, I got to figure out exactly
Which kind of
how
feeds
to
into
react to this.
like the last episode we watched where she was so ready to throw him out the airlock. You know what I mean? She's like, I knew there was something off about you. It's that one time you were in my office playing with your hand.
Yeah. Cylon!
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. He's just like, and look at his eyes. Like this guy's really good with his eyes. I've mentioned it enough times.
He looks like he's having his finger licked by some beautiful woman,
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
They're half rolled back into his head,
This is so great. And meanwhile, he's sitting there trying to have a conversation with somebody. I mean,
Yeah, and I think the thing that we kind of have to stop to remember too, and this is where it's like serious hats off to James Callis, the actor that plays Baltar. They have to do these shoots sometimes twice because 6 has to get out of the shot.
Yeah.
And then they have to continue on like she's only there for him. So, I mean, between the editing and having to sometimes do this stuff twice back to back the way they would have to shoot it.
Wow.
Just depending on the camera angle and stuff.
I'm so glad I listened to you guys. This fool, I just got another Google verification. This fool is still trying to hack my stuff. Wow.
Yeah, there we go. This is why, you never put off changing passwords.
Yeah.
Why does this guy kind of look like Bashir? Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Somebody else said that before,
Just because, why does, Danny look kind of like he should be part of the Grateful Dead? I mean, he just does.
Well, he definitely loses a finger.
I used to, like back when I had a beard and long hair, but I feel like. Although I'm working on this. Working on this. This is what, 3 weeks now?
Yeah.
Are you trying to suggest that you think that looks good?
Anyway, so here she's doing a little self-filled medic work on herself.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
Now,
good.
and this is also one of those things where I like the fact that they do not treat the audience like they're idiots. And when I say that, I mean when she's testing the atmosphere, they never say, "Let me grab my Acme atmosphere tester and see what the atmospheric content is." She just pulls out the little stick, it glows red, and she puts it away and says, "Frack."
See, they hey Cinnabon Bunny, how are you doing? You know what it made me think of? Galaxy Quest. It's just like when Guy freaks out because they're like, "Do you even know if there's air out there?" And then like the guy's like,
You don't know.
"Yeah, you don't know."
He just takes this huge deep breath.
Yeah,
An LDD with $2
super chat.
and says, "Told you, bird."
That's got to be between them. That's fine.
Oh, it's if you look in the comment stream, it's about the whole Bashir thing.
Oh.
Hey, Mr. Brian McFarland's in the house. What up, bud?
Oh, and this is an interesting question. How do you like the new BSG helmets compared to the Egyptian style helmets in the original series? Now, Danny hasn't seen
I can't speak
the
to
original
that, so.
series helmets, but I like the original series helmets a lot more. That's one of the things I think they did better in the original series.
Well, they have a very particular style to them, and I'm just
Right.
bringing up
These
the
helmets
picture.
just feel like generic space helmets to me.
Kind of like motorcycle helmets almost, really.
Right.
It's like,
But the original, like, you know how you've seen like picture. Oh, okay. Jason's finding it. Go ahead. That's what the helmet looked like in the original series.
oh.
And you
It
see how
does
it
have an
actually looked like
Egyptian kind of.
Yeah, it looked like an Egyptian pharaoh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And notice the like eagle looking thing on the top. For different battle stars, that would be a different little statue mounted.
Oh,
to
kind
it.
of like the emblems,
Yeah.
the Star Trek emblems. in the
Yeah.
Yeah, and
original
they're
series.
kind of mocked up with a dummy.
So yeah, and that's
helmet in there.
that bird is
Wow,
the
that's
Galactica's,
so. What
Yeah,
was
it was extremely heavily based on Egyptian lore. The
so?
original
What,
series.
I'm guessing that was that ever like addressed as to why, or
well,
was that
when
just
they-
a stylistic
without
choice?
they
without
found the
falling
planet
down.
Cobol and there were pyramids. You know. So,
Yeah, but without falling down a rabbit hole, it kind of all ties back to the whole Glenn A. Larson and the LDS. So
The,
with
Church of LDG.
the Church of LDG. Yeah, it ties back.
Is that
to
Latter Day
the whole
Greats versus
Mormon
Latter Day Saints? I guess.
thing. Yeah. So the short story is it all ties back to the whole a lot of the
Okay.
foundation.
But Brian, good question. But honestly, I like the old helmets better. You know, but the only thing the helmets had in common was the LED lighting inside of them. So that you could see, you know, but
Yeah, I enjoyed the helmet because it's a very nostalgic thing. Because of course, again, having watched it only a couple years out from when it was first aired, but
Did they have
as a
HUDs
total,
in them?
no, this
not
was before that kind of special effects.
yeah. The most that they had was they made the cockpit surfaces look like 1970s fighter jets that were just coming out. So
But I mean, they did good for the day. I mean, X-wing fighters didn't have HUDs back in the original
Right.
Star Wars either.
No. Yeah.
Um,
Well, those were also just half like shields. Like this is a full face
And
shield.
Ariel, those bandages are doing a couple of things. A, she broke her leg, and so it's holding her bones.
Thought it was her knee.
she messed up her
like
knee, so she's
dislocated her knee or something.
helping
and
so
B,
she can
and
keep a
B,
stick
she
on it.
punctured her suit, and so it's keeping the air in her suit.
Yeah, because again, she just said frack because toxicity.
Yeah, with
levels.
the test stick.
I said,
And yeah, the whole mystique of the warrior, the colonial warrior, which is not in the new one. And so, here's a quick rabbit hole for you, Danny. So, in this, they treat this strictly like it's the United States Navy in space as far as a Battlestar, right?
Right.
In the original, it's more of it's more of a unique concept. So instead of having just officers that are pilots, they actually have an elite class of fighter, and they go by the title of warrior. So they are colonial warriors, and colonial warriors have special suede jackets. See if you can find a picture of one of those jackets. Those jackets are really cool. They have special suede jackets that they get to wear. They get the Egyptian helmets, all that, and they are like the Green Berets of the 12 colonies. So not only are they great fighter pilots, but they're also badasses with a gun.
Was Face from the A-Team one of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Starbuck and Apollo were the best of the best.
Okay.
And so, but the colonial warriors had this mystique as far as these guys were the elite. These guys were the ones that everybody else in the military looked up to, and they were the ones flying the Vipers. And so, but their outfits were outstanding, and they looked very different than everybody else's outfit. There we go. That's Starbuck in the original. That's his. You see the suede jacket he's wearing.
Yeah.
And they got big, heavy buckles, and it's all very adorned.
Very. I'm getting kind of like a Han Solo kind of vibe.
Oh well, I mean, you were coming right off the heels of.
Right. But notice, look underneath
Star Wars.
the jacket, and that's a flight suit. Mm-hmm. And so it's still a flight suit.
You see the gold bands on the wrist, kind of reminiscent of TOS.
Kind of like Trek, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they were borrowing from every corner of sci-fi they could.
Right. But I also like this, what I think was really bringing out the Han Solo is like the low slung gun.
The blaster,
the blaster. Yeah.
And and that's the thing. They're gunslingers, they're pilots, they're badasses through and through. And so that's kind of different than in this. They're just like naval aviators.
So they only had one season of the original series. Is that right?
Unfortunately, yes. It was the
show. So that's why I know
rating,
him as Face and not Starbuck, because there were several
the A-Team
seasons.
ran forever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think they called them laser blasters. Yeah, Brian. The problem was that the show was actually a huge success in the ratings, but it was also at the time the most expensive television show ever produced.
Yeah, it was outrageously expensive. It didn't get surpassed until TNG was on the air.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
and that's what's made
crazy.
I'm actually just going to grab the bottle of soda. I'll be right back, so I won't be gone long.
And Cinnabon, we obviously have a different idea of what a cool looking jacket means. I always wanted one of those jackets, man. I still think those jackets are cool. And yes, Ariel, of course you have to have the cigar, but that's only if you're Starbuck or I think Boomer smoked cigars.
In the original?
Yeah, of course. Boomer in the original was a black guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think we ever saw Apollo smoking cigars.
What about cigars?
Oh, we're talking about Starbucks was, you saw in that picture, you had the cigar. That was like one of Starbucks' trademarks, was a huge cigar.
Well, I kind of got that because like at the end of this episode, the touching scene that choked me up was when Adama gives her his last cigar.
Starbucks always had a cigar in the original. Okay. And if he wasn't in a fight, he was smoking a cigar.
I like him already.
And yes, Thomas, there's one Battlestar. That's how elite they were. There were only 12 Battlestars, one per colony. And the warriors were the people who were the pilots on those Battlestars.
Well, like, what happens? Like, they have like a backup one? Like, what happens if one gets destroyed and they just SOL?
They're Battlestars. They don't get destroyed.
I mean, that's a very
That was
arrogant,
the whole
idea.
That's
of
exactly
Battlestar was
it.
They were these invincible warships.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we ever get around to watching the original series, that whole arrogance factor that you just kind of popped out, that's actually how they spin the way
Yeah, that's
the
why they
storyline
ended up
kicks
getting
off.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the claim is that it was $1 million an episode in 78 bucks.
Hot damn! Like that's not adjusted for inflation. That's like
Not adjusted.
wow.
Yeah.
And that doesn't
that the-
surprise me because the visual effects are as good as Star Wars.
And the 3-hour pilot, which was also shown as a movie, the rumor is that it's between 7 and 14 million.
Damn.
Yeah,
And
so they spent
that's
some
major movie budget
serious
right there
money.
back then.
Remember that Star Wars 1977 was only $11 million.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so it was a feature film cost plus
Yeah,
they
Universal
had-
went all in.
Yeah, they threw down hard on that.
You know, and unfortunately, there was first of all, ILM didn't exist yet, and
Right.
there was actually a lawsuit that ended up happening because they recruited a couple of the guys that worked on Star Wars to do some of the visual effects on Battlestar Galactica. which
You
is
were
part-
talking about this. I don't know if it was on
Why-
the
yeah, this-
Patreon.
Yeah, this is why the effects were so good, and and there was a lawsuit because basically they developed what's called a motion control camera system, which is how they filmed the Death Star run in the original Star Wars.
And that
they
was
used-
that was Dykstra that actually developed
Yeah,
that.
Dykstra, and Dykstra worked on Battlestar Galactica, and he used the same type of technology for them to film the Battlestars.
Yeah.
And so, and you'll see it like when you get around to watching it, there are scenes where they do strafing runs on the Battlestars, and it's very reminiscent of strafing runs on the Death Star.
Yeah.
And so you can tell it's motion control camera work.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lucas sued Universal for using the technology that was developed for his movie. And so, and I should say it was probably Fox that sued Universal because at the time ILM and Lucasfilm didn't really exist. And so that came around a little bit later. But yeah. And then, of course, if ILM had existed, they just would have farmed out all the visual effects to ILM. You know, because
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the comedy about it.
right, because that's what happened. Like one of the first big ILM projects was Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
So we still haven't gotten paid for the fans to see this. So I'm going to be here for a second. I'm just doing this because I got to take these glasses off for a second.
Oh, and I just, as a side note, considering we're just turning this into the random rambling episode
Yeah,
tonight,
you mean it's a
I'm gonna put
normal
up a-
live stream?
this is John Dykstra standing in front of
The original Galactica.
or behind the original shooting model.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Look
yeah.
at the size of that model.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
also, you know what I love about models, that you know all the texture, like go down, like you kind of want to.
Yeah.
If you look at that, look at all the texture that help makes it look
Well, and
more
you can,
realistic.
The greebling and everything.
but can you
Yeah.
tell that? That some of the people that helped develop what a Star Destroyer looks like built this.
You know, since that case is probably settled, I'll just go ahead and say yeah. pretty much.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
so-
the model, it's kind of funny. Yeah, the model was bright white, but it looked, gray and everything because of the lighting and everything, the way it was filmed.
yeah.
And so,
Yeah, they shot everything on blue screen, so you got the hues started to come together. So
Ariel, I like that idea. I'd say his spit was that powerful. That's what it was.
all right. So, yeah, and yes, there was lots of kit bashing involved when they built the Galactica and when they built the Star Wars models. All right. So, anyway, so Starbuck, there's the little air thing she's checking.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I really like that because they don't try to pretend that we need to explain through exposition
Whoa.
what's going on.
Go back to that. That kind of
Like
looked
she
like
straightens out her knee.
No. That looked kind of like a communicator from the original series for half a second. The little grid
kinda,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, a little
it's-
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, busted walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Starts.
yeah.
It tried to fold.
Is that a cigar? What is that?
No, it looks like it's a capacitor or something.
It's
Oh,
like
okay.
some part of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They,
It
they,
looks
they,
like that looks like the communicator from the Cage.
Right.
You know,
when they were just a brick.
yeah, when it was-
Yeah.
the brick communicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, air's toxic, not gonna work." And so and I would agree, Stanley. Unlike Mandalorian, where they got to send a droid out for a 10-minute scene to check the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so in this case, she just whips out the little atmosphere stick, and since it's if the stick is red, if you breathe, you're dead. That's-
Look at her cute little chipmunk buck teeth right there. That's just so cute.
And then
She's
she
one of
looks at
Ginger
her
little cheese.
oxygen level, and it's like, okay, got 3/4 of a tank.
Yeah.
No, you got to figure out what the heck to do. And yes, Thomas, that is funny. If you highlight Thomas's comment, that when Shields on the original, there it is. Shields on the original Galactica was literally closing the window.
Yeah, they actually they would
actually do
it's
that.
like shields to positive or shields to negative was the line,
Yeah.
and they would just this huge metal plate would close up on the front of the bridge windows.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's her pregnancy test there.
The air is pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, it even says atmosphere test care something. Atmosphere
Yeah.
test, and then I
Maybe
don't know.
case. It's CAS something. Yeah.
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 But and so but I like that because it's so obvious what's going on. You don't need to have a whole bunch of exposition on it.
Yeah, stick to the story and let the other things just be the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've never, because I've never paused right on this, I've never noticed that it actually the prop says atmosphere test on it, but you didn't need to. You just knew that that's what she was doing. And exactly, Stan, this is a great example of the show don't tell philosophy,
Yeah.
where they do not use any exposition. They just show her testing the atmosphere, and any reasonable person gets exactly what's going on. She can't breathe without her suit. She just checked her oxygen level. She pulls out the stick, pulls it out. It's glowing red, and she's like, frack, which means she knows when that oxygen tank runs out, she's dead.
Yeah.
So that's how you do it.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Starbuck or Apollo and the gang are flying through the nasty muck in the air, trying to just look with their eyes to spot her. And I mean, this is it would take such a wild stroke of luck for them to find her, even in the 48 hours they have.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, they have 40 pilots, right? Well, 40 Vipers. I don't know how many Raptors, but let's just say they have 20 Raptors. So they have 60 ships. And those 60 ships are combing a planet based on what we see with Starbuck walking around. We'll say the planet has to be roughly the size of Earth because it seems like it's about 1 Earth gravity. And so and there's no water on the planet, which means that you can't rule out the oceans. Right. Yeah. So you have to scour the earth with 60 people in 48 hours. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, seeming like a exercise in futility. But.
Right. And look at that visibility. It's like you're gonna find her in that.
Lucky they didn't run into stuff.
Yeah, well, which of course we
right
see in just a minute when Apollo freaks out and he's like, "Everybody pull up."
Right. This is that scene where he's like, 200 just cruising along. He's like, oh crap. That's his. We're about to fly into a mountain look.
Yeah.
And so they all pull up to get over the mountain. Meanwhile, on Caprica, they're still screwing around.
Yeah, back in the B plot. Yeah.
Yeah. And this will take off eventually, but right now it's just, I know I kind of skim over, but it's just the not Boomer Sharon and Carl.
You mean the not Sharon Boomer, maybe?
Or not. No, it's not Boomer Sharon because
it's not.
She's Sharon, but she's not Boomer.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're
and they do
all
give
Sharon.
her, and they do at one point give her a differentiating name, so that's kind of cool that they were smart like that. And you'll see that in early season.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil anything, but that's why I said that she's not Boomer Sharon.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
as opposed to the other one is Boomer Sharon, and that will stay important throughout the series.
Yeah, all the way to the very end, even.
Yeah. And there's the toaster.
Yeah, I just love that.
I like the Caprica government issue cooking oil.
Cooking oil, yeah. Great egg. Caprica government issue.
Yeah. And you notice, I just noticed this for the first time, and I'm sure someone had to have paid attention to this. That light is red.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not orange, not yellow, but red. So, yeah, it's kind of funny.
And he starts, they're making breakfast. Uh-oh. Cylon shows up and sees it reflected in not in the toaster, but in something holding a bunch of coffee cups. Not a good thing. And so he's going to fight the Cylon if he needs to, but he's trying to avoid it. But the toaster's still on. So the toaster is going to alert the toaster.
Yeah.
That's not good.
How clever.
And so then Sharon, or not Boomer, comes out and it's like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Daka.
She's stupid. And of course, now, unbeknownst to Carl at this point, and it's not a spoiler for you anymore, but unbeknownst to Carl at this point, this is all part of the plan.
Right.
I
just found out when she met with the other six and the other dude.
The other short guy. Yeah.
They have no intention of hurting him.
Yeah.
They like this poor Centurion was sent in to die, and takes one to the head.
Yeah.
But then his buddy comes out, and notice this is used in the opening credits. This shot right here. You'll see that in the that's the part where it says they rebelled in the opening credits.
Mm-hmm.
So meanwhile, Starbuck is climbing up.
I feel like she should have a walking stick or something if her knee's that jacked up.
Yeah, but there's no sticks.
Something. She couldn't fashion something.
This is a completely barren planet.
Are you going to pull a line from Galaxy Quest? Can you find can you fashion a rudimentary lathe?
So going up the hill, she finds the raider that she shot down. Mm-hmm. And this is the introduction of the full-sized raider that they built. This is the first episode, as they had just finished construction of it for this episode. Prior to that, the raiders have been 100% CG. So now they have a full-size raider to work with and a full-size Viper to work with as far as for practical shots like this one. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, crap. Not good. So she's, thinking she's going to shoot it. But, and it turns out there's nothing going on. And this is the discovery this is the first time that the Colonials find out that the Raiders don't have pilots in them.
Because the Raiders are the pilots.
Right.
Yeah.
Once she gets in here and starts messing with it,
Yeah. But look at that shot. I mean, she
You
actually
muted yourself by accident.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got a headshot, and it also kind of explains why the glowing eye is red, because we're seeing the blood in their head.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, so it's red, and then the light goes back and forth to make it extra red.
Right. And the same is true of the Centurions. You know, all the Cylons are based on this like combination of biology and technology. They're basically synthetic life, which will become important as time goes on. But she had no idea that the thing actually was a life form until now. Meanwhile, they're still convinced that, hey, she's out there. We're going to find her. And, we're going to keep doing the search. And I don't care what the president says or anybody else. We're going to keep searching. And Stanley likes that Boomer's been shaving her pits. Because,
Yeah.
Well, I guess Cylons care a lot about personal hygiene, unlike liberals.
This is the moment where he yells, "I said no."
Right. And so Colonel Ty is like, dude, you're risking the lives of all of humanity for Starbuck. You're losing perspective.
Yeah.
And Ty is being a good first officer here. I mean, he's doing his job by pointing out to his commanding officer that, what you're doing may not be the smartest move.
Right.
But what really shows that Adama has lost perspective is that rather than thanking Ty and saying, I understand, but we're going to continue the search, he's like, get the hell off my bridge.
Yeah. You're relieved.
And
because he relieves him almost immediately after.
Yeah, look at
this,
that. Yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
That's not the Edward James almost you want to stare down.
Right.
Oh no, he does let him go back to work there. I've got it playing off to the side. But yeah, it doesn't take much longer here, and he lets him.
So this is just where he's dressing him down. Then.
Yeah, he kicks him off the bridge in a not too long.
Right. Meanwhile, they're still playing house and this is after. So he wakes up, and not Boomer is gone.
Yeah, this is where you get the setup where shortly later in this episode
reveal,
where Danny got to see that that the other two Cylons are part of this plan to, try to do something.
Yeah.
Which, if you really want to know the plan, don't watch the plan.
The plan. Yeah, don't watch that.
Don't watch it. Oh,
it's so bad. It is legitimately the only actual, truly bad Battlestar reboot stuff. Like, I don't even know who greenlit that, but it was not good.
Same cast in it and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Like, all the same crew and cast are all involved with it, but it's like a 2-hour that just should never have been made. They should have just left it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she starts cutting into the goo bucket there, and we have... For those who want to see Danny nearly retch,
Danny
check out Patreon.
Yeah. Supportsalty.com.
Yeah, Danny just about lost it when she cuts into the meat sack there. And she's like, "Oh my God, you really are alive!"
Yeah.
And so this is really our first look at how Cylon technology works. It's basically, flesh and stuff, but with a metallic exoskeleton.
Yeah, or certainly what it's progressed to, and then they explain this as the series.
Right, it started out as simple robots, but then this is what it eventually became. And which is really, I think, an interesting concept. This is something kind of different than what we've seen before. We've seen like living machines. We've seen organic machines. We've seen,
So it's this like a hybrid or organic
Right,
synthetic?
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is like
Yeah.
a living tissue inside a metallic structure.
Okay, so because we're about to get to where I have lots of questions as to how, one, she's able to breathe inside the thing, because what does it need oxygen for? Two, how she's able to control the thing if it's a living thing. Like, am I just supposed to suspend disbelief because they don't really explain any of that, or do they do that in the
No, these sort of, but it's biomechanical. So basically, they kind of allude to it, especially if we get around, or whenever we get around to watching Blood and Chrome, you get a much better, and even parts of Razor, which is like the
Razor's really good.
Razor's extremely
Razor's probably
good.
the best Galactica movie, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they do kind of explain it. So I don't mind going through it because it doesn't spoil anything in the general story. But everything is biomechanical, obviously, because you've already seen that with this the Cylon Raider. So the biology is connected to technology that, obviously if the biology part is dead, you can still kind of squeeze the bits that were connected to the technology. And because the biology, and she even makes this comment, you're alive, you must have to breathe. So where's your oxygen supply?
So there's something in the ship that generates oxygen for the brain and circulatory system that controls the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all she did was kill the brain, and now she's becoming the brain for it. She basically climbs in, cuts out some of the goop so that she can fit in there, and then takes over instead of the brain.
My cat is snoring, and it is adorable. Oh my god! If you were wondering why I was looking off to the side,
Don't wake it up.
And for $50, he'll turn his camera to the cat. All right, so Tyrell and Lee are talking about the fact that the Vipers are all gunked up because of the stuff in the atmosphere.
mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Come on, give me another Viper, Chief." And he's like, "Dude, this is one where I really kind of feel for Chief Tyrell, because they're flying these Vipers into Lord knows what this stuff is in the atmosphere, and ruining these incredibly sophisticated machines. And then they just say, "Okay, clean it up so I can get back out there right now."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, man! I got 40 ships here. What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
So, but because Chief Tyrell's awesome, he's working on it.
I think this is the scene where he kicks
Yeah.
Ty off the bridge.
So here, look at
Or
it.
out
This
of
is
the
the map of
CIC.
the planet, and this is the amount of ground that they've covered.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's
Yeah,
neat.
without pausing it, they kind of breeze right over it when we watched it. So
yeah.
Yeah, you realize, even though they've done really well, all things considered, but that would be like if you have to search the entire planet Earth, and you've basically covered,
the flyover states.
the
Yeah.
flyover states of the United States. That's about what you've covered.
Yeah.
And so you've got some trouble. And so they're trying to figure out ways to do better, but
Right now, they have two types of Vipers: the Mark 7s that had to be fixed for, their virus scan had to be upgraded, and the old Mark 2s. Other than that, the only other type of ship that the military has is the Raptors, which are multi-purpose.
but the Raptors aren't really fighters. You could almost think of them as they're bombers.
They're kind of like Humvees of a sort.
Yeah, they can launch missiles, but they're really more designed for reconnaissance.
Yeah.
And so we do see them occasionally outfitted with
This
missiles,
is where
but yeah.
Salty removes my wrench. So hey, Ariel, We'll just bypass the middleman. Here's a direct link to donate to me if you need another truffle shuffle, honey. Just kidding.
Cash.
Wow.
I'll remove it. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I know that you're.
I was just being funny. I was just trying to be funny. Well, because you missed her
Is that
comment.
a-
She said,
is that a
"Careful,
legit
Salty.
link, or
You
is
know
that-
I'm here." No, because you were like, "Hey."
Oh, there. No, I missed it
$50.
too.
Yeah.
I missed that too. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So I was like, "Hey, you know." Oh, what's forgive my ignorance. What's a British RAF mosquito thing? What is that?
Mosquitoes. It was made completely out of wood, a twin engine propeller.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty bonkers. If you're an aircraft nerd like I am, you know that that's actually one of the best aircraft, and not the whole Spitfire versus Mustang. But now we're going down into another category of things I get nerdy.
It's
over.
okay. We're halfway through the episode, so at this rate, we should wrap up in about 2 hours. So we're
Sweet.
doing good.
Awesome.
Well,
I'm sure that everybody will be happy with that. But no, we're doing okay. We've been making good time, because we've only really been talking about the episode for like the last 10 minutes.
20 minutes or so, yeah. So, yeah, if we keep the tempo up, we'll get through.
Oh, I miss Cinnabon Bunny dipped out. So, well. Missed that.
I thought you were the one bragging about how you read the chat.
Well, I read, so in the StreamYard thing there, so I haven't been differentiating between like my chat and your chat. And so I guess I just missed it because it was the last chat in my chat. And I'm in here by myself now, so that's fine.
So he's lonely.
But hey, we got what, 16 people overall watching, 14 likes. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, y'all. Help Salty out.
And now Bird wants to fight about the Spitfire not being the best fighter out of England in World War II. I don't know jack about any of those. So
Hey man, when you start talking about real craft, I mean, I can talk about spacecraft with you all day from Star Trek or whatever, but you start talking about the real stuff. I'm just,
yeah.
Now I got Thomas going now too. This will be Friday night's conversation if we if I actually make it on.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the episode. I take a Viper over any of those, by the way. And we do see what Vipers can do in atmospheres eventually.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like Exodus, when we see that's where we really see what the Vipers can do in atmospheres. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not talking about the car, Stanley. Jeez. I don't want a Viper car. It's not made by Ford. All right, so she's going through all the gunk, cutting out. This is where she cuts out the brain, and she finds the tube and she cuts it, and then she puts her little air test on it, and it's like, hey, I found air.
So gross.
Oh yeah, so many fun moments for people who want to go and enjoy the Patreon recording.
Meanwhile, Lee is on the phone with the president, who's like, why are we risking everybody's life for one pilot who's probably dead?
Yeah.
And Lee's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna find her. And so that's when she realizes that he's lost it too. And so, she's getting concerned because both of them have completely lost perspective on the whole situation. Now, this is kind of funny because, so the timer runs out. They know her oxygen supply is now 0. Now, of course, we know that she's finding oxygen on the ship, so she'll be okay. But they don't know that.
They don't know that.
Yeah.
And they don't even know if she's alive or not. Yeah.
Right, and this is where the re-edit we were talking about would be better, because
Yeah.
you would think, oh my gosh, now she has no chance of being alive.
And then and then do the thing like 12 hours earlier. Like actually that would have been good.
Yeah.
And so, or actually, would have been 48 hours earlier. I guess we found out she has a 48-hour supply.
Okay.
But anyway, so the.
Oh no! Actually, no. You're wrong. I was letting it continue to play. We don't find out till after the commercial break.
Yeah, I messed up. I realized it.
Yeah.
But she's looking right now.
Yeah, she's looking for air, but we don't know if she finds it.
Because the last thing I think she says before the commercial break, or before in that last scene I showed, was "You've got to breathe."
Yeah.
So we know she's looking for air, and that's another way of doing good storytelling. You don't have to have her say, I'm sure there's some kind of air reclamation system in the ship. No, she's just like, you got to breathe. I'm sure, and so.
Because she's a normal person. So she's talking to herself out loud, like
right, and she's not going to explain everything to herself.
No, exactly.
Yeah. She's not Danny.
I explain things to myself. Am I broken too?
Yes. But
a wise man once told me we're all broken. So
this is where Adama goes into true delusional status, where when the timer hits 0 and Ty's like, okay, it's over, and he's like, well, she could have a reserve supply. And I love this look on Ty's like, oh, so you mean that she just got in her ship and said, you know what? I think I'm going to bring an extra bottle of oxygen today.
The look on his face is like a combination of like sadness, disappointment.
Yeah.
Like, get real. Come on. What is it, that Joe Biden thing you play?
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, man. That's kind of what the vibe I'm getting there.
Yeah, this is like Ty just like, dude, no. This is over. The fat lady has sung.
Get off my bridge.
Now, granted, we know storytelling-wise, she's still alive, but Ty, from a military perspective, is right here. They should have already left.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that the needs of the many thing. I mean, come on. And they go like, we're going to find out here and this is where he get off my bridge.
Yeah, he's like, okay, you're going to disagree with me? Get the heck out. I don't want to deal with it. Which was a completely jerk kind of thing to do,
Hey, but Ty handled it with class.
Ty. What Ty needs to, he's a good officer.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, he doesn't need to be. He's a lousy officer. He's only a good officer when he needs to be. And so Starbuck is like gasping on for air here. And again, like look at that. That is perfect right there. That's all they needed to show.
Yeah.
You okay
show
there,
not tell.
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's just the gross stuff.
So, yeah.
He's having flashbacks to the first watch.
Into body parts and spraying.
Yeah.
And then she takes the lung piece that she just cut and sticks it in her mouth.
Yeah, that's Danny.
Oh God, that was so gross.
Yeah.
I mean, could you do that? I mean, think about it. It would be like if you climbed into a dead animal.
Hey, man, she's probably used to sticking weird things in her mouth. Me, not so much. So I don't know. I'm just, I don't know if I could.
Yeah, that's. But and so, but I mean, it's a matter of survival. Hey.
Yeah.
And the president is trying to be nice here, where she's like, "Oh, I'm just calling to say I'm so sorry about the loss of your pilot."
Yeah.
She's not lost yet.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah.
Okay. And that's where she's like, I need to get dressed and get my happy ass over there. Cause,
and that it was at this moment where if we used modern Urban Dictionary words, he dials the copium up to 11 here.
Yeah, yeah, she's going to go over there and get all presidential on him. And because, he's being stupid at this point. And And so then Starbuck uses her flight jacket to plug the hole, which makes sense. So to try and make it an airtight environment. You okay there, Danny?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Good.
How about a nice rare steak?
Actually, I could go for one of those right now.
Yeah.
Actually,
Climb inside of it.
I don't know about all that, but you know.
Well, that's basically what she's doing. So she what?
This was this is the equivalent of her like crawling into like a gutted moose and somehow making it run for her. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, Canadians do that for sport. It's called moose running.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know about that? You gut it out and
Well, they're certainly
moose
big
are
enough.
So big, yeah. You just
Yeah,
gut
they're
out
huge.
the moose, and two people can climb inside, and and they slip their legs down the moose legs from the inside.
It's like the tauntaun, but for Canadians.
It doesn't smell good. They go, okay,
Yeah.
we'll fill it with some syrup. So yes, that's moose running, Canadian sport.
Is that like y'all's number one export is maple syrup or something? What's up with that?
They are the world's number one supplier.
Yeah, 90% of it comes from Canada.
Wow.
Yeah. The little bits and pieces that don't come from like parts of Maine, parts of Vermont, a little bit from Russia. But we have all the good maple trees.
Right on.
Too bad they don't have anything else.
We have wood.
Yeah. Maple trees, wood, and moose.
Yeah, we're drawers of water and hewers of wood. That's kind of a long-standing joke about Canadian industry.
Wonder if any of the Cylon organs are edible, says Stanley. Probably. She could probably survive there for a while eating that juicy meat.
But
Yeah. Just cut off a piece of that brain she chopped out, and her brain is actually pretty nutritious. So
Okay, Hannibal.
what? That's not cannibalistic because its Cylons aren't human. It would be cannibalistic if she was inside a human being. But but now, granted, it would be better if she could cook it somehow. But if you got to eat, raw Cylon to stay alive, hey, do what you got to do. So she plugs up the hole with her flight jacket, which is actually a really smart thing to do. And again, I do like the cleverness of the writing here because it's not like she just happened to have, like, if this were Star Trek, she would have some kind of hull patch kit in her bag.
well, actually, even easier than that. The magic phaser that can do everything. It would just weld something into place.
Yeah. But it would just. But
She's not Batman, dude. She doesn't have shark repellent in her utility belt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I like that. I think that's actually
Yeah.
a really cool thing about it. And so she uses that. So now that she does that, she can let the nasty lung spire out of her mouth and just let it fill the room with air so she can breathe. And right there, it looks like that's not air she's sucking out of it, but
Usually, the inappropriate jokes come from me. Not today. Not.
Yeah, I
today.
don't know. Like
I'm just
the balance of the show is no.
I mean, I'm just saying it didn't look like that was.
Yeah, it's like the balance of the show is all out of kilter today.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like Katie Sackhoff just finished like smoking a whole lot of something just before they shot this scene.
No, they were filming this in BC, in Vancouver. Just saying.
But was it legal back then?
Wouldn't have mattered in BC.
Yeah. No, like when I went there in 98. Yeah, when I went there in 98, people were smoking pot everywhere. It was crazy. It was like,
Yeah, but it's legal.
I mean, I don't.
No one really cared.
I don't
We've
think
been
they
making-
cared
we-
if it
we've been
wasn't.
making- East Coast was making jokes about the West Coast being stoned out of their gourd forever. So
Gotcha. So yeah, there's one of Danny's favorite shots right there. Is Katie Sackhoff just inside a bunch of
goo.
That might be the thumbnail image I used.
Yeah, I think it might be. And so now they're an hour and 18 minutes after she's run out of oxygen.
Yeah.
And, so you got to think about it. She's guaranteed to be dead. Assuming she had 100% oxygen and had no leakage, she would have been dead an hour and 18 minutes ago. And yet they're still sitting there insisting that they search.
And here comes the president.
Yeah.
Yes.
The president's coming, and a little bit more of Kate. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Katie accidentally
more
discovers
goo and
how to fire the gun.
Pew.
Yeah.
That's what you should use for the thumbnail. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good. That would have been a good one. Those eyes.
Yeah.
bugging
If there was
out.
ever a whoopsie doodle moment, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap. All right. So, and no, Ty fills her in on the whole thing with Zach.
Yeah, this is a part where I almost felt like he was kind of throwing him under the bus a little bit, but not.
He
so
was
much now that we-
frustrated, I think,
Well,
Yeah.
I
more
don't
than
think it's
anything.
throwing him under the bus as much as filling her in that this is deeper than just him not quite having perspective on losing a pilot.
And
Yeah.
the fact that it was affecting Apollo as well. So
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that she needed to know that, even though it was maybe a little underhanded of Ty. At the same time, Ty's thinking about the safety of the ship. He's not thinking about. I don't think he's trying to purposely undermine the commander.
Well,
or
not just the
disrespect
ship, but the remainder of the human race. I mean, like they're about
Yeah,
to
the whole
say
thing.
that they go through 40-something% of their fuel just trying to track her down, and they're exposing themselves to a possible Cylon attack by staying in the same place for so long. I mean, like they make a lot of really good points.
Right.
And
yeah, wasting so much of their fuel and everything on a search for one missing pilot, even if it's Starbuck, doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And so I think, Ty is absolutely doing the right thing. Even though Ty himself may be kind of a jerk, he's not wrong. And so they have, and the interesting thing about this confrontation is that totally didn't go the way I thought it was going to. I thought they were going to hash it out and fight. And it ends up that she says her piece and Adama's like, yeah, she's right.
Well, I like how she did. She has her little mic drop moment. She walks out. Lee, and Adama, they without
They don't even say anything. Yeah,
they just look at each other and
recall.
like
yeah.
it's like she. This was another good scene. Like
This was one of the best scenes to this point between the president and Adama, because again, I know I said it, and I'll say it a million times before we're done. Janeway and Chakotay.
Yeah.
If this is the kind of relationship they had, man, it would have been better. But
yeah, her closing line was "Clear your heads" after she read him the riot act.
Yeah.
And then she walked out.
yeah, she didn't say what to do. She just said, clear your heads.
Well, and she also had that really good line before that about like, if where she basically points out what they're doing, and then she's like, if the two of you of all people are okay with that, then there's no hope for the human race.
We're doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they call off the search because of her. And then she's so meanwhile Starbuck figures out how to fly her now enslaved Cylon.
Yeah, she switched from finding the pew pew button to
Finally. Well, and this is the one little bit of exposition they did do where she explains to people the basic principles of flight.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
X Y Z.
Yeah.
Right. And I do understand why they did that, because there are people that are going to say, "Come on, how in the world is she going to fly this thing?"
Yeah.
And so if she just she just says, "Okay, every flying machine has these basic principles: pitch, roll, yaw, no." And so if she explains that real quick in that way, then
Yeah.
it's enough to where the layperson can say, "Okay, she's enough of a pilot and everything to where she could figure this out."
You know what's
Even though
funny
that's
too?
completely BS.
Playing off to the side here, when she does that little exposition, and then she goes to put the flashlight in her mouth, and she says, "Let's go home." Katie Sackhoff has a really good evil laugh, because it's like this sinister.
Yeah. And she also, it's what I can't figure out though is that there's no instrumentation on this thing. How
Yeah,
does
she's
she
got to.
how does she
Well, she's got to
find
look out the
Galactica?
window.
Just looking out the window, how is she going to find it?
Well, more like she knows they're going to find it. I think is probably, if you want to play headcanon thoughts, she pops a Cylon Raider up onto Dratus, they're going to come find her.
I suppose.
So,
but it just seems like really unlikely that she would ever. But because she was making a beeline for the Galactica.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the one way that she would know is if she actually paid attention to where the planets were when she was going down.
Yeah.
If she had good situational awareness for a space combat pilot, then she'd still have a general idea of which direction to go.
I missed the part where she wrote her name on the bottom of the ship. I mean, when did that
They
happen?
never
didn't
actually show that.
You didn't know about that until
Yeah.
That was a big reveal for everybody, for us, for Apollo.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. And here we go. They do the crazy, we'd never leave.
Yeah, this was the scene that made Danny cry.
Made all of us cry. Come on now, man.
Yeah, if it was you, we'd never leave.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad. Okay, now that she's dead, let's go.
Yeah, it's like giant moment of serious emotion. And it's like, all right, let's kick this pig.
Yeah, Ariel, she used somehow her jacket worked, but that's how she patched it up, I guess. Yeah.
Well, the upside is the big fat jacket would get pushed out into the hole, so that would
because
actually
the negative pressure would help seal that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the fact that there's blood there would create a liquid seal around that too. So I think it would work long enough for her to get back to the ship. It wouldn't work much longer than that. Like, I don't think I would want to fly to other solar systems that way.
No.
It's Stanley. Yeah, that's probably what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Screw it. She's responsible for Zach's death. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, so then all of a sudden there's a raider on Dratus, and so they can't and that's the thing, because remember they said that the raider will reach them before they can jump, which
before they
means
can
she
jump.
is heading straight to them.
Yeah, because the whole fleet has to be able to jump. So
Right. And so that means that
Well, they already established before here. Ty has a line where he says civilian ships have already jumped.
Oh, does he?
He does say
Yeah,
that.
I think the Galactica was the only ship left, but the
Oh yeah, I think they were rushing everybody away, and then Galactica holds it
But
off.
think about it, if the Raider had nukes or something and got into position, they could launch a nuke into the landing bay, and
Yeah.
that would be really bad. So they want to blow it up before they go.
And what happened to Hot Dog? Like, why couldn't he get out? Like, something
His
happened to the tube?
the launch tube jammed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right here. So there's Hot Dog is going to join Apollo, and that's because had Hot Dog launched, then Starbuck would be dead.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
but yeah, as soon as when they were getting ready to launch, and then it messed up, and that's when he's like, frack.
So, Ariel's got another good question here, the bottom one, if you want to
Yeah.
address that, because I actually do have these same questions as well.
Well, the way that she got into the fighter was she found the button to opened up the actual panel,
and then she cut the flesh.
Yeah,
That was underneath. There was a panel that she could remove, and then there was flesh underneath the panel. So presumably she could reinstall that panel.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because there's like a mushy little "Open Me Up Now" button on the side.
Yeah.
So,
but that's a good question. But yeah, you got to think about the fact that it wasn't like there was just an exposed area of flesh at the bottom of the ship.
Yeah.
So Hot Dog's stuck, and Apollo's going to engage the Cylon by himself. But of course, Apollo is like the second best pilot, narrowly behind Starbuck. So Apollo versus one Raider should be a piece of cake. However, when he comes approaching this Raider, it's like all of a sudden he's flying against a Raider that's an insane pilot. And I'm going to show just a couple of seconds. I love this shot here where the Raider. Look at that. She's just like,
Hey man, you got to be careful.
Not going to let you do that. And she's just like,
yeah, don't let it go too long. Yeah,
No, yeah, because every
I know.
video we've done without Jason has gotten a claim on it.
Oh,
well,
really?
I think it's just because. Yeah, I think it's just because. Oh, by the way, I want to say I'm very proud of the fact that you are watching the one and only podcast that the fourth largest telecommunications company in the world is trying to shut down. But they won't succeed.
Yes, Vader.
Yeah,
We are still going.
We're almost done though.
yeah.
But welcome, Mr. Vader. So despite the fact that Apollo is wasting lots and lots of ammunition, can't manage to get the stupid Raider shot down, and then that's when Starbuck makes her crazy maneuver to fly in formation with him.
Yes, and then
and lets him see that she painted her name on the bottom of the Raider, which was a great reveal. And like, as I was trying to figure out how are they going to, do this, and this, there's a scene here where it's a very nice and I think subtle nod to the original series, where you see Starbuck and Apollo are flying side by side right here back to Galactica. And although you do see some civilian ships in the background here, so they haven't all jumped away.
okay.
But if you notice, the two ships make a little wiggle maneuver.
The wing waggle. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you're right there.
Yeah.
And that is a nod to the original series. There was an episode of the original series where I think it was Starbuck and Boomer were on an away mission, and the plan was they were going to hijack a Raider to make it back to Galactica, but they had a transponder on them so that the transponder would let everybody know not to shoot down that Raider because it was them. And they said, well, what happens if you lose the transponder? And they go, I don't know. We'll just have to flap our wings or something. And so, of course, they lose the transponder. And so at the end of the episode, they start doing that. Just like that. They're flapping back and forth. And when they're getting ready to shoot, they're like, wait a minute. That's them. Don't shoot. So I think that was a subtle little nod to that episode.
it could be. Yeah, this whole episode was inspired by one specific episode from the original series. Anyway.
Yeah. And there's a lot when we get around to the original series, there's a lot, the little plot elements and stuff that they borrowed from the original series and then brought into this. And some of which they expanded on, some they did a little more briefly.
Yeah.
Like the story of Cain You know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
They
yeah. Yeah,
expanded on greatly.
Oh, they did.
And-
That's probably, of all the things they pulled from the original series, Kane, best rework ever for the whole series.
Right. Which unfortunately isn't until next season. But the interesting thing is you're going to see part of the Kane series this weekend, because the episode The Hand of God was also part of the Kane storyline from the original series, but we're going to see it without Kane.
Okay.
Think about
You're
if you
making
go,
me think.
Yeah, if you think, go back to the original Living Legend, that's the
That episode, yeah.
What was Kane doing when they came across him?
He was still fighting.
What was he fighting?
Oh, I don't remember. Don't say it. I'll go rewatch that episode.
But you'll see it's Hand of God.
Interesting.
It's the only difference is Kane isn't there in Hand of God.
Okay.
But it's the same story. Anyway, so they bring the Raider onto Galactica, and you can see here now. This is kind of interesting. This is like one of the very few shots you see the full-sized Viper and the full-sized Raider in the same shot.
Where's the Viper?
Oh yeah.
Look to the side. You'll see the Viper. It's hidden partially behind the wall. But
So on the left side of the screen.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there is another shot coming up when you see Chief Tyrrell walking by it. You'll see the
Yeah.
cockpit of the Viper right across the front of it, right there.
yeah, you see the Viper.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
behind.
yeah. Okay.
So they're very equivalent in size.
Yeah, but you can. But the Raider is smaller as far as it's and it's a lower
Total
profile.
volume or whatnot. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm loving Ariel and Stan are making wrestling references. I'm loving it. So see, I don't even have to do them. Get the people in the
Yeah, but you
chat
see,
will do
I
it for
can
me.
It's
ignore the
Kane.
wrestling
He's coming
references.
down and Hell's coming with him. Oh, that's awesome. And I know that one.
You see, I don't, and I'm okay with that.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
This Kane is very different than that Kane, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh, hellfire and brimstone.
I just can't believe you
that's
don't
awesome.
remember.
No, it's been so long since I last watched that episode, too. I'll go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, rewatch The Living Legend before this weekend. And you'll know what I'm talking, because when we watch Hand of God, you want to have Living Legend fresh in your mind to realize that they borrowed that storyline.
So is it just me? Like sometimes I can't tell, and don't spoil it, because I know like.
If it's about who's going to bang, I told you Starbucks is going to bang everybody. But
Well, no, it should. Well, it's almost like sometimes I feel like they have more of a familial brother sister type of thing, but in this scene here, where he's like, "Man, you smell like a latrine," and she's like, all flirty, like she's like, "You want to give me a bath?"
I think that's
Luke and Leia kind of almost banged.
Yeah. Well, they did kiss. That happened. That happened.
So, yeah. Yes, Jason had to deal with the illness when that restaurant tried to kill him.
Yeah, it did.
So basically, that's right there is where she's telling him that
Yeah. You want to give me a bath?
yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Although that does fit with her personality as they have it structured in season 1 anyway. So it's
that's just something she would say.
yeah.
And so there she is.
In this scene here, oh my God! Now this actually got to me more than the "We'd Never Leave." Like when he kisses her on the forehead here in a minute, and you see her choke up, that just got me. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
so good.
It's
Especially after what they've been through with the reveal of Zach, and and
Surprised
yeah,
Doc
just
Cottle
just
doesn't
2-3 days ago
shot
too.
with a
So it's
cigarette,
like,
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I replaced that other guy's. What other guy's face?
I think she means Apollo.
Oh.
With those bedroom eyes of hers. Oh, probably. Yeah.
Um,
Although I'm more into six. Starbucks too much of a tomboy for me. Like I need. Oh look! See, look at her! Look at her!
Yeah.
Oh man! Oh God! Good pause. Yeah.
yeah, it's not,
Oh, yeah.
as soon as
No.
you looked at it, you'd lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got such an expressive face, which is so funny when you think about how restrained she
Thomas, I
seems
told
to.
you not to put any major spoilers in the chat.
Oh, yes, because that happens. How restrained the directors of season 3 of Mando basically must have been on her, because every time she had her helmet off in Mando season 3, she was nowhere near as expressive as you see her be able to put on
Right.
throughout the episodes you've seen so far, Danny.
Yeah.
So
It's like, Thomas, you wouldn't expect. I think the biggest shock that's coming up, Thomas, of course, is when Colonel Ty and Six bang. Yeah, so that's the big one. But anyway, the so then he gives her his last cigar, which it's kind of funny the way the series is. There's a whole lot of last cigars.
yeah, I know, I love it.
Because they never seem to run out of last cigars.
This is the last fancy jacket. This is the last fancy cigarellos. This is the last fancy cigar. It's almost like a certain Star Trek series that only had 38 photon torpedoes.
Maybe they have. Maybe they got their cigars from the Voyager brand.
Yeah,
that'd
exactly.
be hilarious if that's what it was. Like Voyager brand.
Yeah, and Ariel got onto that just as I was saying it. Yeah.
So, and there we go. That is, you can never go home. You can't go home again, which is funny because the name of the episode is "You Can't Go Home Again," and yet at the end of the episode, Starbuck goes home.
They go home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
really
move along home.
This was a really surprise. My new favorite.
This is your favorite episode.
Yeah, it was solid episode. Now we have seen more than we reviewed, and I will say that at least 3 more times at least.
A few more times.
Yeah. But really good episode. A lot of good acting. The only thing is, now that you've told me how you would have cut it, I do think that would have been structurally better for the audience. I think that would have been more.
Yeah, add more desperation to the oxygen. Yeah.
Right. If you thought that she had no way out, right up until, and so we got to see the entire storyline up until basically up until the time that Hot Dog's Viper jams in the tube. And that's when we start the flashback.
Yeah.
And then, and so we go 48 hours earlier and we see, her crash on the planet. And so that way we don't even know that Raider is her.
Yeah, they really could actually have reoriented that entirely that way.
Yeah.
And we could just assume that the Raider somehow survived, and maybe she's going to come up at, like what you would expect is they're going to come to get the Raider, and then she comes up behind the Raider and kills it or something,
Yeah.
If they miss me, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it still worked very well the way it was set up, but you definitely could have improved the tension just a little bit more if you wanted to.
Now you got me thinking maybe I should do a special Patreon only recut.
A recut of that episode, reorient the scenes.
Yeah, what do you think I should do a salty cut of that episode?
Hey man, if you got time for it, I mean that's.
I was gonna say if you find yourself with spare time, it's
Well, I never have spare time, but it's something that I would probably enjoy doing. That's the
well, there you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
And hey, it's content for the Patreon, so
yeah. Anyway, so what about you? What did you think?
For me, if I think about it, especially in the context of when I first saw the episode, it was a very interesting story that they told with this, because the original show, they actually had Starbuck crash on a planet with a Cylon raider. Right. Except the Cylons, of course, in the old show were the robot tin dudes walking around, so he actually had someone to interact with. So when I knew what was coming, I was kind of concerned about them trying to do some of the stuff from that episode. I won't get into it that way. It's a bit of a surprise for Danny, but I was very happy with how they did everything. And then in the context of knowing a lot more after the fact, they were doing an awful lot of exposition for the universe that we're working in this. So it's one of those, I liked it the first time I saw it, and I really liked it once I saw more of the series. And since I've rewatched the series, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, it's definitely one of my favorite season 1 episodes.
Yeah, I love the fact that this is the episode where you really learn how the Cylons work.
Yeah, it really, like, we already know the whole, you've got the tin can toasters, and then you've got the skin jobs, and now we understand that the skin jobs and the toaster,
they have more in common than you would think.
They're way more similar than we ever could have thought. Yeah,
right. And it does kind of, I mean, it's subtle, but I think the episode does set up the fact that Ty and Six are going to bang. I do think that I mean, so when they do, it's not going to surprise Danny. I mean, it's not so funny. A major spoiler. Yeah. Danny's gonna be like, "Yeah, I saw this coming a mile away." Everybody knows Ty and Six are a couple. Anyway, but no, I think that this was a great. This was how you do exposition. Because really, what did we get out of this episode? We learned all about the Cylons and how they work, without them telling us how the Cylons work. And instead we learn it through Starbuck trying to survive by literally carving one up from the inside. And it was kind of gross, but at the same time, man, it was so well done.
I totally agree. And if you guys agree, let us know in the chat or the comments section below if you watch this later. And thank you so much for the 23 of you that are watching us live right now. Yet we only have 16 likes, so my math is not that great, but come on, guys, help us out.
His math isn't great, so that means we need at least 20 more likes.
Yeah, exactly.
And Professor Farnsworth says, "Good news! Strange New Worlds is available on YouTube for free." Well, that's...
Oh my goodness! So, I'm planning
Strange New Worlds because it's coming out next week.
Yeah, and I was about to say, so I plan on seeing The Flash that night. So we can't have like a 4-hour marathon stream going over the premiere of season 2 of Strange New Worlds, because I'll be watching The Flash that night.
Too bad.
Okay.
No, we'll have to stay on target.
You're gonna have to prioritize, buddy.
I am so excited for The Flash. You have no idea. I'm such a huge Michael
I'm
Keaton
excited
Batman
for The
fan.
Flash too, but you know what? This show comes first. So I will forgo seeing Flash on Thursday for this show. That's how much I care.
Right on.
We'll just do her tight.
Yeah.
It's fine. I can go to the midnight show. It's not a big deal.
He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, no. If you know what, we'll try to keep it in the in the regular time frame. As long as you don't.
Well, of course, the funny thing is, too. Remember, I have to start well, for 10 weeks, I have to get up early on Thursday.
No, we don't care.
Oh, man.
Nobody
Why is
cares.
that? Something with work?
So that
or
I
something?
can, so that I can, no, so that I can watch the episode straight
Oh,
away.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
work drags on a little long, and then
Right.
I'm stuck behind the line.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be rough. It's too bad if we could all arrange to be up at the same time to record a live reaction to the show.
Oh,
don't even know
that
how
would be both funny and miserable because
Yes, we don't.
at least two of us would be just horribly tired because the hours would just not be right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and no amount of coffee would work fast enough to make it not look hilarious.
And yes, Ariel, the new version of the Flash is a guy running around in a trench coat and no clothes underneath. That's
I buy
so
that
yeah,
for $1.
yeah. So once again, the show is seamlessly blends in with the episodes before it. I think that Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, the next episode, or not? Well, no, it's not the next episode because the next
Episodes that we're
is
going to watch.
It's
Yeah.
6 degrees of separation. Is
Yeah.
what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Episode 6.
Second.
I gotta get that stupid video done tonight. Tomorrow's my son's birthday.
Litmus.
Litmus.
Oh, it's
is the
Litmus
next
tomorrow.
one.
Okay, so Danny's least favorite episode.
Yes. But
um,
doesn't it's terrible.
Yeah, 'cause
No, but it's just like
even though I actually really like Litmus, but
it's a good episode, but it feels
Yeah.
like okay, everybody relax a minute. It's like you could take your foot off the gas for a couple minutes here.
Well, it was just the first episode where I didn't immediately be like, "Oh, that was my favorite episode." I was like, "Okay, it was all right.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
They can't all be bangers."
No. I mean, man,
I'm not sure. What...
they'd hurt themselves if they had if there was never a single bad episode, they would have had to have hurt themselves.
But Litmus wasn't even a bad episode. I don't think there is a bad episode. Of
Yeah, I'm
the
not
series.
saying it's bad. It just
Right.
It's
But I mean,
Yeah.
that's the problem with this series is that it's hard to grade episodes as being good or bad because Litmus may not be as exciting as the episodes before it or even the episodes after it. But it's certainly like if you were to compare it to the closest comparison in Trek, the Drumhead, it compares very well.
You brought that up a lot in the Patreon stream. Remember, guys, if you
Yeah.
want to check out those Patreon live reactions, go to supportsalty.com.
Yeah, and
believe it's
because
just
this
the $5
episode,
tier
it's
you
a
can join.
lot like the Drumhead.
And Ariel, I was in a movie then. Well, for the low price of a super chat, I can be in whatever home movie you want. So there you go.
Well, on his OnlyFans, he'll do literally anything you want.
Maybe I should set one of those up. There's got to be like a fat bearded fetish out there that I could capitalize on. It's got to be a thing.
I would say, Ariel, probably the lowest ranked episodes. I've said it before. I think is probably the miniseries. And honestly, it's the pacing of the miniseries is a little off compared to the rest of the series. And the miniseries, they use more traditional cinematic camera moves, where as opposed to the shaky cam documentary feel they do throughout the regular series. And which normally I know people hate shaky cam, but on this show it really, really works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's not. It's shaky cam, but it's shaky cam without the 17 cuts per second nonsense.
Right. It's shaky cam. It's meant to feel like there's a guy with a camera in the middle of all this,
Yeah.
Filming it. And so, but yeah, so I would say that, whatever score you would give the miniseries, that's the lowest score of the season for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So
There's only and even things that I might grumble about when we get to the later part of the whole show.
not counting
It's
the
only-
the plan is dog crap.
Yeah, the plan I don't consider part of the show anyway. But headcanon reigns supreme with some stuff, man. But the There's a few creative choices they made in season 3 and season 4 that are annoying, but I still stand by the comment I like to make, which is, to me, I think they intended on trying to do this show in 3 seasons. Someone told them they needed to stretch it to 4, and then they stretched it. And they did an excellent job stretching it, but I think at the same time they ended up kind of having to replot a little bit. But even with that, like, I'm not. I would say the miniseries and, some nitpicks here and there. It's like the worst of the whole thing. Like, I never got upset ever. So
So with that, we're going to wrap things up. So remember, hello. Yes, we're going to finish the live stream so you can eat a steak and I can watch. So remember, you are the salt of the earth. And
salty
he's
is a
getting
salt
raped
lick.
by
getting attacked by a chihuahua. You are the salt of the earth. I'm the salty trekker. And this is the land bat, who is like all of a sudden going crazy, which she does every now. She has 2 speeds: sleep and insane. And Danny and Jason are still here for some reason, and nobody paid to see Danny's shiner, so it'll just remain forever a mystery.
Well, I'll be.
Unless you really want to show it to them.
I'll be here tomorrow. Nah, I'm sure it'll still be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. Everything.
Well, Brian, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We did as well. Ariel, that's great advice. Thank you, Mom. Everybody, thank you guys.
Take care.
Good night.
I'm trying to get to the button. All right.